even go,
So
Mozart. I just want to make a quick statement, then you can go.
No
So
worries.
very quickly, Prince, just to set the foundation, because Mozart's gonna expound on it. What essentially happened over the last about 200 to 300 years is you successfully have another group convincing another to turn this group into a golden calf. If you remember the story where Moses goes and he gets the 10 commandments, when he comes down to see the Israelites, they're worshiping a golden calf. What modern Jews, their ancestors, about 200 or 300 years, were able to do was convince a lot of white Christian denominations in America to essentially see them as a golden calf to worship. Now, Mozart can expound on that.
Precisely. These specific Christians are
and
called.
what's the basis of
Uh,
this theory? Where's your evidence,
it's
please?
called dispensationalism, dude.
Dispensationalism.
Yeah,
That's the
dispensationalism was the
Show us
evangelical.
the
first.
evidence of your
Oh
theory,
my
sir.
god. Okay, I'm gonna have to change the hand raising because I know Normo is fucking
That's right.
Normo.
That is
Do
right.
So
what you got to do. I don't want you
yeah,
to do it.
like I'll bring Normo back up later, but I know this will take like forever and a day if we leave him up here. But yeah, the heresy is called dispensationalism. It was created by crypto Jews in the Catholic Church. Of course, unfortunately, many Protestants adopt anti-Catholic ideologies because they feel like it. Well, what does dispensationalism says? It says that people like Nikki, who don't know a lick of Torah and have children like no other, they can go to heaven because they're Jews. The rest of you guys have to work to have to work your way in, including us Christians. Anyway, dispensationalists, you know them by their modern, more final and cringe evolution as evangelicals. They are completely cuckolded to Jews because they think that the only verse in the Bible that matters is "He who blesses Israel will be blessed. He who curses Israel will be cursed." Every other Christian understands that this is talking about the church, which is the new Israel. But evangelicals worship Jews more than they worship God Himself. So yeah, this is where this
Well, guess who
pseudo
prints their
alliance comes
Bibles?
from. Oh yeah, I mean this you can go even further into things like the Schofield Reference Bible, which was printed and financed by a Jew. I think Samuel J.
That's
Untermeyer,
correct.
his name.
Yeah, but that
So
doesn't even matter.
along with the Rothschilds.
When we're talking about Christians, why are we even mentioning the evangelicals? These guys are like they're.
oh
I
yeah, I
used to
mean
be
I
I
don't
used to
consider
I
them
used to be an
Christians.
evangelical. I used to be one. I can tell you very very well that dispensationalism is something that is unfortunately taught in that denomination. I'm no longer evangelical, even though I sympathize with them with several things. But respectfully, one of the reasons why I had to leave was because we should not be idolizing any group, not just white Jews in Israel. I'm talking about any group. And it's unfortunately that this has been allowed to happen. So
Baruch Hashem, brother. No, but actually, it's a good thing that you left that. No Christian should believe in such an ideology.
correct.
Evangelicalism is like a main factor of atheism anyway.
What? They're your main supporters. The fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm not a Jew. I'm just a rabbi.
Okay. Well,
Rabbi is the most honest rabbi in Clubhouse.
respectfully, evangelicals, and this is unfortunate because, like I said, one thing that I started to notice is that a lot of Jews don't even like Christians. And it's unfortunate to have to find out that uncomfortable
Why
truth.
are you
A lot of
bullshitting?
Jews do
What
not like
truth?
Christians. They
You're a
don't, and
fucking bullshitter, bro.
they
Why
look
would
at
they
you as
like
Why
you,
are you
as
King? Why would
bullshitting?
they like you?
they look at you
The
as
fuck?
beneath
But they
Nobody
them.
likes
believe that you
They
you.
look
killed
at
them.
you
No,
as something
As
to
what?
step on, and
Nikki,
it's
You're such
unfortunate
a
because so
yo.
many
The
of them.
way
Nikki,
you're
don't get
talking
triggered. It's
shit
okay,
right
Nikki.
now.
It's okay,
Not
Nikki. I'm just
because
saying what
why
is
you
true.
gotta
Nikki,
spew
I will
Nikki,
let
I'm
bullshit
just saying
you.
hatred?
what's
Nikki,
true,
I will
Nikki.
let you respond when he is finished.
Yeah, I'm just saying what's true, Nikki. I'm not, you don't need
No,
to
you're
get
saying
triggered. I'm just
bullshit.
telling
It's
you what
not
it
true, and you're
is.
Yo,
talking out
let
your
the
bullshit
let the
Well,
ass.
brother
look, I mean,
let the
look,
I don't
brother
at,
cook.
understand
at
what
the
your
end of the
problem
day,
is.
the Jewish community, and it's not everybody. I think we do need to respect that there has been a reformation movement, and not all Jews think alike. I can say that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to positions of power within several industries, I think enough
Oh,
Jews have
there we
sent their
go.
message.
There we fucking go.
Okay, all
Yo,
right,
Jews
let
right.
the
run the
brother
world.
Okay.
cook.
Here the
So,
fuck we
so
go.
when it,
Can you
okay,
let him
right.
finish,
So,
please? You can
yeah, just let
respond
me
when he's
finish, Nikki.
done.
So again, I think we need to acknowledge that there has been a Reformation movement within the Jewish diaspora, right? That has essentially created a sect within Judaism or a sect within the Jewish people that don't give a fuck about Zionism, others, blah blah blah, this and that. But like I was going to say before I was interrupted, there when it comes to positions of power within several industries in
Yo,
American
don't hate
society. And
because you
other
can't be
words,
nothing proper and successful in life.
you
Why you hate?
cannot ignore,
What,
you cannot,
like
Please,
music industry,
Look, you're
King?
like
you
a
What
yeah,
cannot
the
industry?
music
ignore. I
industry,
don't
the
know why
Nikki,
she
entertainment.
keep, I don't know why
please.
she keeps interrupting me. I'm just speaking.
Because she's a
You
Because
whore.
cannot.
you're crying like
It's
a
all good.
hurt
Nikki,
little
It's all good.
bitch.
Nikki, go take care
Christ
of
is
your
still King of
kids.
Kings.
When
Christ
King
is
is
still King of
finished, you
Kings.
can speak.
Yeah, I
Just
appreciate it.
King is
Christ,
ignore.
speaking bullshit
I
because he's
appreciate it.
hurt
Nikki, go
that
be
he's
on
a.
mute.
Okay, now go watch your kids for a couple minutes,
Right,
please.
go
But
Go.
watch
what,
The
what's
Chosen.
being
Go
said
watch
here?
those
I don't
shows,
get it.
bro.
Are we talking about whether or not Jews hate
No,
Go,
Christians?
keep
Is that the
talking about
question?
go,
my kids
go
too,
watch
eh?
those.
Keep talking
Go
about my
watch the.
kids,
Did I
dickhead.
Okay,
insult your
cool.
kids? No, I said you should go watch
No,
them
keep
while
Right,
keep
go
my
King
watch
is
them.
keep
finishing
my
is
kids,
finishing
keep the
speaking.
phrase my
Yeah,
When
just move
and
her
when
me
she's
out
down,
your
man.
done,
fucking mouth.
Just move her
okay,
down, man.
go do anything.
She's
Just
an
stay on
Okay,
mute.
okay,
unruly
okay,
woman.
okay, okay,
What's
guys. This
being
is not
Yup,
how we
contested
I'm
do
an
it.
here?
unruly bitch
I'm
No,
trying
because
to.
I
hold
I'm
on.
fucking
trying to
help
We're
finish
you.
what
gonna
I'm saying.
accommodate.
Can I fucking help you? What?
We're gonna accommodate Nikki. I'm gonna give Nick. Okay, listen. You know what, Nikki? You got the mic for a minute. Go ahead.
He's an idiot. He,
Go ahead.
your
Speak.
butt hurt because Jews. What you think? Jews run industries, run the world, control shit. That's always your bullshit narrative. That's been your narrative for years. That's still your fucking narrative. And fuck you, Jews don't hate
But
Christians.
how is it
You
false?
stupid fuck. Just because
Hold on, Rabbi.
you're hated, does not mean Jews hate Christians. Stop spreading your bullshit lies and your bullshit rhetoric, and understand Jesus was a Jew.
That you're not saying anything, ma'am.
No, I'm
Okay,
So
not
if
saying
can
anything.
I
I'm
okay,
bitching. That's what I
can
do.
I
no,
That's
can
what
no,
I
I
hold
like
on,
to
continue?
King.
do.
Hold on, King.
Stop with your
If what?
bullshit.
Okay, Nikki, I gave you your time mute up. Okay, so if what Nikki is saying is true, then why does the Talmud say that Jesus is burning in feces?
Oh, there's a better example. The Birkat Hamanim. You know, Jews do 3 prayers a day. One such prayer that didn't originally exist. It was originally 12, then they added a 13th. Is the Birkat Hamanim, which is the, I mean, like, name it sarcastically, blessing of the heretics. Anyway, one of the lines says that all the Nazarenes, you know, the Christians, should be perished and blotted out entirely from history. So, yeah, this is the lovely
I mean,
prayer.
but why is this controversial? I mean, if Jews hate Jesus, why do you think they wouldn't hate Christians?
Yeah. So
Exactly.
again, that's the hardest thing to, as a Christian, to sort of come to realize. Again, and I said it's not all, right? But there's enough of an influence over the current Jewish diaspora that it is uncomfortable. And if Nikki had simply allowed me to finish, what I was going to say is that it's not that Jews control all industries. That's not the argument. It's not even that they control a majority of it. It's that they have in very prominent industries positions of power to where their value system can be seen in what they output, meaning what they create to influence over the world. For instance, Hollywood is one, banking is another. You can keep going down the list, even what they do in government. Respectfully, Nikki, it is very clear. If you just, for instance, focus on Hollywood, the messages that have been pushed throughout Hollywood, where there are Jews in positions where they greenlight projects, ma'am, there is an anti-Christian, and this is well documented. There's been an anti-Christian message for the last 100 years, ma'am, and you cannot ignore that. And when you look at who the people are that are greenlighting these projects that influence an entire generation, ma'am, it is primarily your people. That's a problem. Screaming
Anti-Christian? What
anti-Semitic is
anti-Christian?
not going to erase that. I
What
come from Hollywood.
anti-Christian? What are you
Screaming
talking about?
anti-Semitic is not going to change that reality. Your people have an
I have not
anti-Christian
screamed
position.
anti-Semitic. I
Just
have
be
not said
honest.
that
Your
word.
people have an anti-Christian position. You
How?
do.
How?
I
How?
just
Explain
explained
it.
it.
With what? With what?
This
What?
guy is
What
outrageous.
anti-Christian shit goes on in
You
what?
guys are, listen,
Explain it.
Nikki, wait.
No,
You
no, no.
guys
You
are
said
arguing
in the
for,
entertainment industry
you
specifically.
are
So
guys
what?
are
Tell me what? TV
Okay,
shows,
so take for
that makes
movies, documentary.
it
What?
makes sense. This guy
I'll
doesn't
give
make
you
What?
a
any sense.
simple example,
Lies
Mickey. Okay,
for the last
well,
few
Man,
minutes,
they're interrupting each other. I mean, what the
no
hell?
one was questioning where is he getting this
okay, I'll
from.
give you a simple example. So in the show,
Like, no one was questioning where is this getting
can
from.
I answer the question? So a simple example in the show Euphoria, as well as Homelander, as well as basically every other show, where they mention this, they'll go out of their way to mention that Christmas, for instance, is a made-up holiday. It's pagan.
Correct.
Christ wasn't actually born on that day. It was something that we came up with out of our ass. Now, it takes about 2 seconds of reading to find that actually Christmas and the
It
date of
wasn't.
Christ's birth. Oh my
Why?
God. Can
Why
I?
the
Can I finish, please? It takes about 2 seconds of reading to determine that the date of Christ's birth is actually determined based on the scripture of the gospel, based on when John the Baptist is born, and that this was calculated in the first and second century A.D., well before any Roman Saturnalia, blah 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 blah. Like literally 2 seconds of reading proves this. But the Jewish-owned owners of these shows will constantly state that no, this is all made up, false nonsense, and Christian stupidity to erase paganism. That's one easy example. There are plenty of others, like, gay Jesus in films, communist Jesus, Jesus didn't exist.
Right. You do realize, right, that
Gay
this is
Jesus? I have
not
never seen a movie with a gay
manipulated
Jesus.
by just may I say
A
again,
communist
may I?
Jesus? Really? Y'all are just
Wait,
You
just a
guys are
grafting
second,
at
just
interrupting
a
each
second,
other.
little
Nikki.
fucking
This is a
straws
nonsense
You
now?
guys are
argument
interrupting each other.
because
I don't know who to let
the
speak.
amount of right the amount
Tony,
of
go ahead.
people that are making movies, the amount of people that are orchestrating a lot of these events, they don't even know each other. And now you're saying it's a Jewish plot
Man, I
It's a
don't even
to
know why we're
conspiracy.
demonize
talking about
Christianity, to get
movies.
rid of Christianity.
Yeah, it's a
I don't know
conspiracy.
why we're
It's a
talking about
conspiracy.
movies. Look, it's in the Talmud. If you don't believe in Talmud, you're not a Jew. Stop calling yourself a Jew. If you do believe in the Talmud, it says things very clearly. So I don't know why there's a lot of confusion here.
Give
And I
us
have
an
why are we
example. Give
even
us
talking
one.
about
She's
this?
What? Give us
black. She can't be a
Really,
Jew.
really.
Rabbi.
So
She's
I'm sorry.
black.
Do
She
Rabbi,
Jews
can't
have
be a
to
give us.
believe
Jew.
everything
Who's
in the
she?
Talmud? Do
Who
Jews
the
have to
fuck is
believe
she?
everything in the Talmud?
They're supposed to, actually.
Yeah, you're
But there's
supposed to. I
literally
mean,
there are opinions that contradict among the rabbis. How are they going to believe in
But
yeah,
the
something
but
that
they're
point,
contradicts?
They're
but the
cynics.
point
fine with
is,
A
cynic.
contradicting.
Now
black
listen, I'm
person
all
can't
down to
be a
bash some
True.
kikes,
Jew.
but let's
They're
do it
calm,
in
yeah.
small
Tal-
They're
ways.
Talmud,
calm.
Cynic. The
Talmud is
point
all
is,
about rabbis fighting with each other. It's about debating and determining what's better, what's the truth.
yes, we understand that. But the point is, they're supposed to listen to those exact same rabbis. Kiddushin 40b, study of the Talmud precedes study of the Torah. Now, despite all, I agree, there are a million and one contradictory opinions in the Talmud itself that contradict not just the Torah, but also the other authors of the Talmud. One of the few things that is holistically consistent throughout the Talmud is that Christians are bad and Christ is evil. You will not see a single positive opinion about these people in the entirety of the scripture of the Talmud.
Correct.
So yeah, that
Well, there's
much
a very
no
there's a
debate.
very simple explanation why all the Russians are bad, why all the Muslims are bad, why all the Jews are bad.
Yeah, no
You're
one's
talking
made that
about
argument.
politics, and
So who
you're
made that argument? Tony,
disregarding
Tony, what was
the
the first thing, Tony? What was this first thing that I mentioned when I started talking about the Jewish diaspora? What was the first thing that I want to see if you
I have no
big
clue. I
nose
wasn't
little
listening.
hat
No,
people
I wasn't
actually
here
listening?
probably.
What was the first thing I said about the Jewish diaspora today that we have to acknowledge? What was the first thing I said?
Diaspora, which
That what?
diaspora?
That there's been a what
Which
movement?
diaspora?
That there's been a what
Which
movement?
diaspora?
That there's been a what
What
movement?
diaspora?
And
Oh,
Do
this
you
is
he
know
what I'm
what
says
is
trying
the
to
we
name?
were all
What is the
converted.
meaning
so
of
hold
We're
on.
all
diaspora?
This is
converts.
exactly
He
so
said he
this is
says
the
we're all
problem.
converts.
This is the
We're all
problem with
converts.
having
We're all
having
converts.
Oh, well,
conversations
Fucking
converts. All
with
right,
dumbass.
people who are
right.
We're
bad
And
all
how
thinkers.
did you
converts
did you
apparently.
did
Wait,
you go
Nikki, how do
Having
you
around
know
with a
you're
people
not a
swab
Fucking
who are
how do you know
texting
you're
retard.
not a
everyone?
descendant of converts?
the first thing I said was we need to acknowledge
He's a
that
swab
there's been
man.
a yo Tony,
You're
shut
not.
the fuck
You're a
up.
king
That's the
swab.
problem. You're not actually listening to anybody. You're just droning
You're a
on.
king
You
swab.
you need to
You're
shut the
testing
fuck up
everyone.
and listen.
DNA
That's your
testing
problem.
everyone.
Okay,
That's
okay,
your
okay.
problem. You need
Tony,
to shut
Tony,
the fuck
I
up.
will
King is
give
a
you. I
fucking
will give you
goofball,
your
man.
time, Tony. Let King go, and then I will give you the mic. Go ahead,
And
King.
so this is why a
Why
lot,
are you
because
always
the
letting
thing
King
is the
go and
Jew a
spread his
lot of a
bullshit?
lot of the Jewish diaspora like Nikki and others, they think they
Nikki,
can
you'll get
use
to
the
speak too. Mute
playbook.
up.
They think they can use the playbook of 40, 50 years ago, just yelling anti-Semitic and people are just going to listen or
Okay,
bow
stop
out. Or
saying I'm
that
yelling
shit doesn't work.
anti-Semitic
That
because I
shit
have
doesn't
not
work
yelled that.
anymore.
I've been
That
calling
shit
you
does not
names.
work anymore because
Nikki,
there
I'll
have been a
give you the
lot of
time.
new
Hold on.
there have been a lot of new like variables that have been exposing people to the reality that there really are no angels and demons. We're all humans. We all do good things. We all do bad things respectfully. And so what the first thing I said that is funny that these low hat big nose people don't want to acknowledge is I said the Jewish diaspora has had a reformation movement. And we have to acknowledge that, meaning there are people who've moved away from any of this religious understanding about Zionism, chosen people, X, Y, Z, and we must acknowledge those people. But there's still a lot of folks that are in positions of power where you can actually see what their beliefs are, what they want to be pushed, value systems X, Y, and Z. I made that distinction, and notice none of these fucking idiots even acknowledge any of that. And that's why they're losing people. That's why your side is losing people,
But King,
because
you
it's not
think
a
it's
side of
Our
systematic?
side,
intellectualism.
how
It's
how
not a
is our
side of
side losing
intelligence.
Is it?
people? What?
Let him
It's a
land.
side
Yeah,
Are
of
Prince.
people
Let him
a
converting
land.
on
Hold on.
religious
Hold
atheism
on.
or
cult.
Let
The
me
niggas
something?
talk.
I
are a
don't
religious
understand.
cult. You
Keep
guys
going,
are a
keep
He
going.
cult.
he had his
No
minute, right? He
philosophy.
had
Land
his
his
minute,
message
right?
now. We don't need to.
You
Did you
guys are a
just
Uh,
call
fucking
us a
okay,
cult.
religious
okay,
cult?
Yeah, you guys
okay.
are
We're
a
Oh my
gonna,
cult.
god.
You guys
And
we're
are
I
a
gonna
just
give.
want
Oh
I
cult.
my
want a
god,
moment
I
with
can't
Nikki.
even
Okay,
I
yell
just want a
the
anymore.
moment
Now
with
I just
Nikki.
the
have
I
king,
to
just want a
laugh
moment with
because
right?
Nikki.
y'all are so
May I ask just one
fucking
thing?
brain
One
dead.
thing. King Swab was right about something. King Swab said that we are all human, yet you are acting like you are a big-headed, big-nosed, big wig that is
Big
deciding
gums.
what's gonna be
Big
right
gums.
for for who's gonna be right
Yo, Tony,
in
post
what
your baby
position.
pictures.
Yet
I want to
you're
see what you look like. Post your
My
baby
baby
pictures. You
pictures,
fucking
sweetheart, I was
ugly ass
gorgeous.
nigga. Post
baby
your
Look
shit.
at you,
pictures.
your
Who
How many
beautiful
cares?
Yeah,
Who
packet
fucking
of
yeah,
cares?
ass
cigarette
What
do
does
you
it?
right.
forehead,
Who
smoke?
your
cares what he
ugly
looks
I
like?
ass.
can
How
take
many
another
packet of
picture.
Doesn't
cigarette do you smoke
matter.
a day, Nikki?
Okay,
Look, you
guys,
and your
guys,
ugly
stop,
ass.
guys,
Well,
stop.
post
Tony,
my
What I don't
baby
Tony,
understand is how
pictures,
could you be
bitch. I was
black and be
Tony.
Jewish? That
gorgeous.
doesn't make
Okay,
sense to me.
guys, stop. Tony, instead of taking the time to rebut what he said, you're talking about his characteristics, his facial characteristics. How about you delve into the content?
Right.
What
Well,
did he
okay.
say?
So it's very. I think it's very simple. Like instead of fighting with each other, why wouldn't we figure out how to make the America great again, and how to
Oh my
figure out
God,
how
bro.
to make
Okay,
the
mute
world
up, mute
great
up,
again?
mute up, mute up. Thank
God,
you,
this
thank you,
is
thank you.
low IQ.
Go ahead, Cynic. Go ahead, Cynic.
I just want to know, Nikki, why do you think you're a descendant of 2,000-year-old Judeans?
I was born a Jew. I
How do
will
you
die
know?
a
Okay,
Jew.
but I didn't ask you. Please
Because that's
listen
what
to
I
me.
was told. I'm a Jew. My
No, were
mother's a
you
Jew.
actually
My
told
mother's
by
mother's a
your who
Jew.
told
My
you?
mother's a Jew.
Whoa,
As
whoa,
far
whoa!
as
You
I
met your
know, down
mother's
my
mother's
line, we
mother.
were
You met
Jews.
your three generations back. You've met your great great grandmother or
What?
great
Say
No,
that
no,
again?
grandmother.
forget all that. Forget all that.
Hey, are you
What's your
serious?
race? What's your race? How about that? What's your race?
She's
It's not
Italian,
about
bro.
that. It's
I'm
not
half
about that. I'm
Italian,
asking
half
a simple
Moroccan.
question.
I'm
So
half
What
your
color?
Italian.
great
What
great.
color is your skin?
I'm half
Oh
Italian,
God,
half
Danny, they
Moroccan.
should
I'm a
have done.
Sephardic Jew.
No, no, no.
Done,
Let me get it.
man.
Let me get it.
No, let
But
Mikael
Danny, let
cook,
me get
bro.
it
Look at
Let
my
first.
Mikael get
PTR,
it, bro.
dummy. Look at my
Who's
PTR.
interrupting Cynic?
That's
Who's
me in the
interrupting Cynic?
PTR.
Jesus
That's
You are
Christ.
me.
black as hell. How the fuck are you doing?
How am I black, you fucking
It
idiot?
doesn't
Look at, well,
matter
I'm
what she
tanned
is. Who's
actually. No,
talking
I
about
tan real
blackness
nice
and whiteness?
actually.
Who? Please,
Yeah, I
please.
am kind of real
Okay,
dark and
I'm
I'm
We're
okay.
just
tan.
black. What
trying
are
to
you
That was
talking about?
increase
Mexico.
the degree
I'm
of
tan. That's
IQ
actually a good
intelligence in
picture of
this
me.
room. This is so dumb.
Don't I look cute? Look at me.
Again,
I'm on the
Nikki,
ATV.
Nikki,
Look how
Nikki,
cute I
Nikki,
look.
Nikki. It doesn't matter what you look like. How do you know that you're a descendant of 2,000-year-old Judeans? Just because your great grandmother, whatever, told you that, hey, I was a Jew, does not mean that
What do
she's
you
a
want? What do
descendant
you
of
want? What? I
2,000-year-old
did a
Judeans.
DNA test. It
No,
says
I'm
my
simply
fucking.
taking
I don't
all.
like.
Okay,
What do
all
you
I'm
want,
simply
bro?
I'll
I'm a
tell you. Why
Jew.
don't you
Enough.
go? No, you're
I
not.
don't need to
You took a DNA
explain
test?
why I'm
You
a
took a
Jew. I was
DNA test?
born a
Okay,
Jew.
let me
End of
explain to
fucking
you.
story.
What is a Jew? Define
Who
to me
are
what a
you?
Jew is.
Me.
Nikki, no,
I'm a
but
Jew.
what does it in general, in a general sense, what does a
Me.
Jew
A
mean? What is
religion. A
that? Okay, okay,
religion. A
yes, a
culture.
religion.
An
I agree.
ethnicity.
Okay. If you want to say that being a Jew is someone who adheres to the Jewish religion, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, I'm a Jew because I'm a descendant of Abraham from
I said
fucking
I'm a Jew
2000
because I was
BCE, then
born a
you're a
Jew.
retard.
I
Huh?
didn't say that. You did. So don't call
Okay,
me a
so
retard.
just being so
I
I
said
can become
I'm
a
a
Jew.
Jew
Anybody
because
can
I was
become a
born
Jew.
a Jew.
Anybody can become a
You
Jew,
want to
right?
start throwing other bullshit into the mix, then that's what you're
No,
saying.
all I'm just
Don't try
saying
to
is
come and
that
say something that I
let me
didn't fucking
explain to
say.
you something, Nikki. All I'm saying is
What?
that if it's a probability game, the highest probability is that you are a descendant of converts. It's that simple. Now, if you want to, and that
Does
shouldn't,
that
and you
make you
shouldn't have
feel
a
better?
problem with that. Let me
Does that
finish.
make you feel better to tell me what I am? Does that make you feel better?
I'm
Are
just
you good?
saying.
Okay.
It,
So if
yeah.
that's what you
No, no,
want to
no. I don't know.
believe
I feel like
about
you're
me,
saying I asked you a
go
question
for it.
earlier. I
I
simply asked you
believe
an
you're a
earlier
brain
question.
dead fucking
Why? Why am I
cocksucking
brain
piece
dead?
of shit.
Why? Why? Why?
Are
Simply
you?
because I'm
Are
telling
you a
you that
brain
you're a
dead
descendant of
cocksucking piece
converts.
of shit? But I
All.
believe
Why
you
does it
are, and
trigger
that
you
makes
to know
me
this
feel
piece of
better. We good?
information?
Are we good?
I'm just
Okay,
telling you. I
good.
am just
So you
telling
can
you.
think what you want of me. At the end of the day, I
It's
was born
not.
a
It's not. These
Jew.
are
I will
facts.
die a Jew.
You
And
can,
whatever
okay, no
you
problem.
want to
And
say
I can
about me
convert
is
to
not
Buddhism
going to
and die as
change
a
that.
Buddhist. I can
Okay?
convert to Judaism and die as
Great.
a Jew. I can,
Good.
you can, it's a religion.
Good.
That's all I'm
Good.
saying is that you are not a Middle Eastern. You're not actually a Levantine. You're an Italian, most
I'm
likely, or
actually
whatever.
Moroccan. I'm actually
Is your
Moroccan.
father Moroccan?
My father's Italian. My mother is
Okay, so you're
Moroccan.
Italian. And who cares
My
what your
mother's
mother is?
Moroccan. Last time I
No,
checked, I
no.
was half
These
of her
are
too.
paternal societies. When
No, we live in maternal societies.
your
Thank
last
you.
name is gonna be an Italian last name. You're gonna carry your father's last name. You're gonna
Yeah,
carry your father's name. You're not gonna carry your
which is now
mother's
known
name.
as a Jewish last name. Yes,
All right,
which is
okay.
now
It
known
doesn't
as
matter.
a
Just
Jewish
because
last name.
some one of your paternal lineage decided to change their name to something that sounds more Jewish doesn't mean that they're actually descendants of 2,000-year-old Judeans. That's all.
Okay, so what do you say? I'm not a Jew then?
I'm just saying,
Holy.
even
Okay.
the studies,
You feel better,
that we
cynic?
see,
You feel
even the
better?
studies that
Okay.
we see today, like
Okay, you
if
feel
you
better?
go the
Okay, cynic
breakdown,
knows more about
I'm just
me than me, guys. Cynic is telling me who
yes, I am telling
I
you, yes,
am.
Oh,
yes, I am, I
There
am,
we go.
Oh,
yes, I
There
am.
Sneaky.
we fucking
Sneaky
go.
the Nikki.
I
Tricky the
Done.
am.
Nikki.
I'm telling. I
Done.
listen, Nikki. I'm a Middle Eastern from that region, telling you, an Italian, that you're not actually a Levantine from that region. Yes.
No, he's actually
Okay.
not telling you, Nikki. I think you
I'm
got it wrong.
actually a
He's
Jew
not.
living in Toronto, but
Yeah, but
okay.
Nikki, he's not
Okay, no
Okay.
telling you what.
problem. What makes
He's
you a
not
Jew is your
telling you.
religion.
He's not telling
He
you what
is.
you are.
He
He's
is.
telling you what you aren't. You aren't Middle Eastern. You aren't
Okay.
Levantine. That's all.
I never said I was Middle Eastern or Levantine. I said that I'm
Okay,
Moroccan and
okay, but I
Italian.
asked you simply,
I've
what do you
never
mean
said
by a
any of
Jew?
those things of
I have no
other than what
problem
I
with you,
am.
Nikki. Okay,
So I
we're
don't
I
done.
think
understand
you're
what your
roasted.
Then
problem
we
is.
Nikki.
agree. Then we're on the same
I'm a
page.
Sephardic Jew
Simply a
and I'm
Jew is
half
because
Italian.
your
Can I
religion
help
is
you?
Judaism. You're an Italian. You're an
I'm a
Italian. You're a
Sephardic
half
Jew
Italian, half Moroccan person who adheres
who
to
is a Jew
Judaism, whose religion is Judaism. No,
who
you're an
was
Italian.
born a Jew.
No, I'm a Muslim
Why are y'all
Levantine.
so hell bent
I'm a
on
Muslim
like
Levantine.
twisting up what
I will
Jews
tell you,
are?
I'm a Muslim Levantine.
No,
I'm Palestinian. So you
good for
see, my
you.
religion is not my main
Great.
identity. Your religion
Cynic.
is not your main identity either.
And Jed, I don't think she knows what you're talking about. I think,
Well, I know
Jed,
Nikki's a
it's
dumbass,
too
but
deep. Wallah.
Oh
No,
my
it's
Sneaky,
god.
it's Nikki.
sneaky,
He's like
sneaky the
talking about
Nikki.
something way different.
but she,
Sneak,
as long as
The
she
Nikki,
can
what the fuck is
comprehend, as
that?
long as she can
sneaky the Nikki.
comprehend that she's not
Sneaky the
necessarily a
Nikki or
Jordan,
tricky the Nikki? Which one do you want?
Jesus.
Sneaky the Nikki or tricky the Nikki? Which one? I want to pick the
Soren,
name
go
for you.
fix your voice before you come
I want
talk
to
to
pick
me
the
Yo,
because
yo,
it's
target
yo,
for
yo.
you.
nauseating.
I don't know how Nikki
Nauseating.
darker than me, and she
Go get
more
your
Jews than
androids
me.
removed
There
or
are
something, bro.
Italians that are pretty dark, man.
What?
Yo,
The
like
What?
what?
Sicilians, I think the
Sneaky,
Sicilians are
no
pretty
Yeah,
one
dark.
wants you.
Southern
You're not Middle
Italians are
Eastern.
dark.
No, you're not Middle
Italian
Eastern,
Yeah,
or
the
Nikki.
Moroccan?
Stop
Sicilians.
this
Get the fuck
madness.
out of here. What?
She didn't say she's Middle
What?
Eastern
Now
though.
what
She
are you
admitted
saying?
she's not. She
What?
Okay.
admitted she isn't.
Victorious? What? Now I'm not Moroccan and Italian? What? Now
No,
You
y'all
are
want to
no.
tell
Moroccan
me
and
I
what
know what type of
Italian.
fucking
Moroccan you're
You are
talking about.
Moroccan and
You're
my
Italian.
talking about that Nation of
nationalities?
Islam shit.
Is that
And
what you're doing?
Why
Is that what you're
but you
doing?
should
My
always
nationalities are
identify
now
as an
not my
Nation of
Italian
Islam.
Moroccan.
nationalities?
I thought, oh,
Y'all
Your
are all a
religion is
special kind of
Judaism.
fucking retard, aren't you?
you're
Like,
definitely not Moroccan. You're
I
not
don't
Moroccan.
even.
I went to Morocco before.
Oh,
They don't look
shit.
I'm
like you.
abso-fucking-lutely
And she
Moroccan.
doesn't keep the Shabbat. She's not even religiously Jew.
There's
You don't
no
know what
way.
I keep, and you don't know what I do. And who the fuck
I
are
Okay,
you
do
to
you
told you
speak
on the
question
Arabic?
what I
Okay,
WhatsApp on
no.
do?
Friday
One
and Saturday.
question. One
Stop the
question.
madness.
One question. Do you speak Arabic?
Shame on you.
Do you speak
Okay,
Arabic?
guys,
I
easy,
do
easy,
not. My
easy,
mother
easy. Guys,
understands
guys.
it. My grandparents speak it, write it, and understand
Do
it
you
because
speak
they
it though?
grew up
Do
in
you
Morocco.
speak it?
No, I don't speak it.
Who
I
Okay,
speak
so
gives
you're not
a
French.
Moroccan
shit?
then. Stop
I mean,
that.
whether she speaks
Okay.
or
Stop
not,
it,
what does it
please.
matter?
Okay.
no,
I
she's
gotta
half
say,
Moroccan.
Ayan, I think it's cowardice that you let Nikki get all the seat on stage while you're sitting down there like a little chicken. You need to come up,
Ian? No.
Lish.
No, he doesn't need to come on.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's here. Hi,
Let's get a
welcome.
change.
Shalom, Ayan. Alaikum.
You.
Oh, what's up, Ian? Now look, Ian ain't Nikki, so y'all got to come with your big guns. Ian's not
Hey,
Nikki.
King, what's
Oh
up?
no,
I
What's
he's
like
good,
Ian,
man?
stubborn.
man.
He's on
Ian's
the
not
same
Nikki. You got
level.
to come with the big guns now.
You can have a whole conversation with Ian at least, you know?
Yo,
هذا
King, you
بالشاطر.
wish you had a big dick. So
No,
shut the
Allah,
fuck up.
Yo,
they're
Nikki,
both
you want to see
idiots.
it?
They're both
You want to
idiots.
see it? I
No,
know you
stop.
like BBC. You want to see it?
I don't
Her
have
No,
a
can we not do
ex-husband.
microphone
You
that?
want to see
handy,
it?
so
Yo,
unfortunately,
King,
I would
King,
not be
Yo,
able
no,
to
you know
see it.
me. Yo,
Gay,
Chris, you know I'm
King.
Old Testament.
Clubhouse.
Chris, you know I'm
gay.
Old Testament. You know I love
Ah,
Jesus, but I'm Old Testament.
Old
That's
You
Testament.
Old
know that.
Okay.
What's
You
old
Yeah.
eye
fucking
for an
know that.
Old
Undo the
eye,
Old
Testament meaning
Testament.
what? The
Y'all
eye
know
for
Torah?
an
that?
eye, tooth for
Old
a
Testament
tooth,
meaning what? The
You
black
know
cock
that's
for a
Torah?
Old
Jewish
Testament.
Because
I'm
pussy.
Old
That's
Jesus
Testament.
right.
was a
Eye for an eye,
Jew,
tooth for a
bitch.
tooth. You
Jesus
know that.
was
They
a
know me. They
Jew.
know I'm Old Testament. So
Ooh, oh my God! Somebody's supposed to be afraid because you said you Old Testament. What? What? You gonna open a can of whoop ass
Nikki,
too
I just
now?
said you want to see.
What?
You
You
said you want to see
fucking
this BBC.
goofball!
That's it. I
You're a
don't know why you
goof.
doing. I
You're
don't know why
because
you
you
doing
ain't
all
got
this
no
extra
Why
shit.
do
BBC.
all
You don't
Canadians
have no
sound alike?
tiny C. You ain't got no minuscule C. You ain't got no C,
It's weird.
Nikki,
sweetheart.
send me your
My dick
Snapchat.
They
is
all
Send
bigger
sounded
me
than
your
like
yours, and
Snapchat.
I
faggots.
don't have one.
All right,
Understand
we
that.
can figure that
You
out.
think what? Somebody's gonna what? Be quiet because
Nikki,
men
you
are
need to be
speaking?
disciplined. You
Y'all
need to be
don't know this
disciplined.
Moroccan
You
bitch,
need to be
sweetheart.
disciplined.
Y'all don't fucking know this Moroccan
Yo,
bitch.
Oh,
Nikki,
you're
I
Okay?
know what you
Okay, okay,
like.
Italian.
okay,
Nikki,
okay.
I know what you like.
What
Don't play
city in
like I
Morocco
don't.
are you from?
My
ماله
mother was
هذا
Her
born in
الإيراني
mother's
Tangier.
ممحون
it's
يا أخي.
In
Moroccan.
what?
Her mother's
الإيراني
Tangier.
ممحون.
What? Spell it out for
Can
me.
we stop asking dumb questions? Victoria,
Tangier.
sit down, okay?
Tangier. In the north, near
Okay,
Casablanca,
What year?
near
What
okay,
Rabat.
year?
stop,
How
stop.
about what year?
Tangier.
What
Victorious,
year?
Victorious, stop.
Don't worry
Nobody is
about
Who
what
interested.
year.
Nope.
cares? Who cares?
Habibi,
She's
What,
half
you think
Habibi.
you're gonna
Italian, half
find anything
Moroccan.
on
Who
me, you dumb
cares?
fucking idiots? I'm in Canada. We have privacy laws. You can't
No
find shit
We're
problem.
we're not
about
Now that
looking.
you
me.
say you're in Canada, I know
You
you're
can't
fucking lying
find
like
Hold on, hold
shit
on.
crazy.
about me.
Like
Do I have the
crazy.
power to
Yeah.
drop?
يا أخي
I'm gonna
نزلوا
start dropping
نزلوا
dumb
خلص
answers.
نزلوا
Y'all will
نزلوا.
never find nothing about me. I
Nikki,
Nezlu?
could give you my
we
full
are
real
not
نزلوا
name and y'all.
نزلوا.
we are not looking for you. Okay, like that's over.
He said, "We're not looking for you."
God damn.
I mean, it was over. Once she acknowledges that, oh, I'm not really, I don't know whether I'm a descendant of 2000. The chances of me being a descendant of 2,000-year-old Judeans is very low. I'm an
Well,
Italian. I'm
let's
half
test
Moroccan. That's
Ayan.
it. We're done with the discussion.
Okay, move
Judaism
on.
is a religion that I
I'm
adhere to. That's fine.
Chinese.
It's over.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Who's looking for who?
Prince, I'm driving right now. Can you fix this shit?
All right, good. Okay, Ian, are you there? Ian.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Ian, do you believe that your ancestors from 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago were living in the land of Palestine?
You mean the land of Israel? Of course.
What's your proof? What's your proof?
Okay. I'm just
What's your
simply
proof?
saying, based on heritage, that's where it
What
is. Do I need to provide proof to you? No, I
what's your
don't. Because
heritage?
the one
How
thing,
do you know? What's your heritage?
I told you, 100% Jew.
What does that mean?
What's 100% Jew? What does that mean?
What do you think it means? How hard is that for you to
Wait,
figure out?
Is Ariel the black guy who converted in Detroit not 100% Jewish?
What does
I'm
Ariel
pretty
Now
have to
sure
he
do
he's
is.
with me?
even
What does Ariel have to do with me?
is he not 100% Jewish?
The
He is
question is, if
100%.
you convert, would you? Are you a descendant of Jacob? That's the question.
Look, to go back that far, I'm not going
Yeah.
to say. But I
Why?
really don't see what the point is. I mean, I
Because
do
then you're not an
follow.
Israelite. You
uh,
could be a convert. There's nothing wrong with that. But then
No,
you're not a descendant
no.
of.
I mean, no, because I mean, it goes back multiple generations, and I mean, I've had, as I said, I've had family members that have written Torahs that it's gone back
So
that
what?
entire
Maybe
way.
they're descendants of
I
converts
couldn't
again.
care less. I mean, the fact
Okay,
of the matter
perfect. That's
is,
all we need.
Palestinians is relatively a recent,
No, no,
invention.
no. Okay,
In
why does
in
Herodotus?
1880, the
Okay,
census,
Ian, Ian, Ian,
1880, the
Ian,
census
Ian,
was
Ian, Ian,
less
Ian,
than
You should
Ian.
have quit while
400,000
you're ahead,
people.
Ian.
Now, unless you could prove to me, unless
Herodotus?
you could prove to me that you're one of
I
those
will prove to you
400,000
right.
people, go fuck
I will
yourself.
prove
I
to you.
really don't give a shit.
Palestine
So
is
go ahead,
simply a
kiss my ass
region.
and kiss my
It's
Jewish ass in Macy's windows. I really couldn't care less.
Well, I mean, granted, all of that is granted, but the
why
Palestinians
are you triggered,
are
bro?
saying they're the
Homie's
children of
not
Jacob.
triggered. No, I mean, I'm
You
not
are
triggered.
triggered.
It's like you want to play by the same rules. Fine. You don't
What
want to
what
play by
rules?
the
What
same
Man,
rules?
rules.
that's
What
Fine. It's
rules?
right,
not going
but
to
the
happen.
Palestinians aren't saying they're the children of Jacob. They're
No,
like,
no, no, no. You're saying that you are the native people of the land, and I say bullshit because
okay, fine, but if they're not,
the
okay,
fact
fine,
of
they're
the
not
matter
native.
is, if you realize the population growth had changed,
You
both
100%.
Arab and Jew. Okay, and in your particular case, you know that you
Does
came
does
from
he understand
Egypt
the
or Saudi
concept
No, I'm
I think
Arabia
you're
Arabization?
or
just
speaking with
mumbling
Jordan
right
or
now, Ian. I
Syria.
don't think you
So
actually
it's
know
like,
what
yeah,
you're
we
saying.
both know that. So the fact of
we're
the
talking
matter
What
is,
past
are we?
tense
you
What
here.
do
can't
we
prove
both
that you're
know? What
native
do
to
we
the
both
land either.
know?
So
What
kiss
the
my
fuck?
ass.
Hey, calm down,
It's
calm
hectic.
down,
It's
slow
hectic.
down, slow down, and calm down. What do we both know?
We're talking past one another. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, the things changed. Everything changed.
Exactly.
Palestinians,
So
you know
what is the
what?
point?
Palestinians are
Oh,
not
that's
needed,
cynic, Mikhail.
but that still doesn't mean you're children of Jacob. Like
No,
that's
is that Mikhail?
I don't know who did
Hold
it. Why,
on a minute.
Rabbi, you're
Hold on a
talking.
minute.
First of
Because
all, there's no
why
way
do
for
I
you
think
to
it is?
know whether Palestinians are actually descendants of Jacob or not. If
Yes,
anybody
it
has
is.
the claim, if
Nah,
anybody can claim to be,
Mikhail,
let
it's
me make my
impossible
case,
to
yeah,
know.
Ian. Let me
take
make
my
my case.
kosher ass.
We're
I've already
actually
made my
we are
statements. I stand by
haplogroup.
them. If you don't
We
like
for
it,
the majority
kiss
part, our
my ass.
haplogroup could go back all the way to the Bronze Age. Your haplogroup as
Buddy boy,
Ashkenazis, if we
you
break it
can't prove
down,
shit. So
y'all
there's
are diverse, and y'all, for the majority part, don't share the predominant haplogroup in the Levant, which is
Man, it
J1.
doesn't
You don't
matter.
share
It
it.
honestly doesn't matter. There's no way anyone can prove they go back to Jacob.
I'm
So to
sorry.
say,
Yeah, okay. I can't prove that. First of all, I can't prove
thank you. You
Abraham
can't prove
existed to
shit.
begin with.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, when it comes down to indigenous people in this region, we know the predominant haplogroup in this region. We
Correct.
can trace it at least back to the Bronze Age, and for the most part, the predominant population of the Levant does hold on to this haplogroup. So yes, if we want to claim anybody to be indigenous, and if you want to add to indigenous a descendant of Isaac or Abraham, then yes, it would be the Palestinians, it would be the Levantines in general, it would be the Arab population as we
yeah,
know it
they're
today.
definitely
Absolutely.
closer. They're
Because you're
definitely closer to
Egyptian
the
and
natives
Syrian
because
and Saudi
you don't
Arabian.
need
Meanwhile,
No,
Ian,
haplotype.
you haven't
it's
taken the
not.
DNA
It's
test. If
not.
you
And
take
the
a
fact of the
DNA
matter
test
is, you
and it
guys
comes out
came to
with
the land,
J1,
in droves
go
after
for it.
1880. So, that's a fact. If you don't like it, I really couldn't care less. That's a
What's
reality.
1880? What are you talking about?
I'm
1880?
just
What?
saying, if you look at the
Palestine?
census
Okay,
report of
if your
1880,
claim
which
does
takes
what
into
you think the
account
name
what
Palestine
current
came
But
day
about in
what does
Jordan
that
1880?
and
matter?
current day Israel, and takes into
Oh, it's
account,
so
let's say
retarded.
400,000
So
people in
retarded.
all that landmass. So
Dude,
what has
those
changed?
Judeans that
So what
existed
has changed?
2,000 years
And the
ago,
fact of
those
the matter
Judeans
is
that
that
ended up
I
We're
mean,
just
being.
look, like
talking past one
Mikhail,
another, man.
I imagine he's Egyptian. I would have
What does all
no
Oh,
that
issue
shit,
matter?
because
Zach. I'm
that's
going to move you to
he's
the audience
Egyptian.
if you can't have
Cynic,
a real
You
you want to
don't.
go
conversation,
back and
Ian.
I
forth with
couldn't care
Norm,
less. So
Cynic?
kiss my
If
ass.
Man.
Ian cannot have an intellectual conversation, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want to engage.
you see that? Mikhail is
If
all
you want to
treated right
say
now
like we're
because he knows
descendant
I've
of
owned him on
Egyptians,
this.
no problem,
I've
bro.
owned him on
But
this.
Why
please,
does any of that
before
So
matter?
ينان ابوك
Mikhail,
على ابو
I know you're
شكلك يا
butthurt.
زلمه.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, hey,
whatever.
All right,
Ian, you can
listen.
literally let me speak.
All right, but
Ian,
just
you
move
can
on
literally
after this.
go at the haplogroup breakdown, the paternal haplogroup breakdown of Egyptians. You're gonna see that the majority of them actually have E1, B1, B. That's what you're gonna see. They're
You're
not
going
gonna
off
be
of
like
Y
the
chromosome.
Palestinians who
Is that
have
what you're doing? You're
J1.
going off of
Now,
Y
if you
chromosome?
don't know how to,
Are you
J1
if you
and
going off
don't
of
know
Y
J2.
the
chromosome?
significance
I'm asking you a very
if
simple
you don't
question. Are
know
you
the
going off of Y
significance of
chromosome?
that difference,
Are you going off of Y
you are not
chromosome?
qualified to have this
Okay, so you
conversation.
won't even answer that.
Man, why are
What am
we
I
even
not
Are
going to
you
talking
going
answer?
off
about
What
of
am I
Y
this?
not going to
What's the
answer?
chromosome?
significance here?
Is that what you're doing?
You don't even need
Yeah, move
haplotype
on to
groups. Just
Norm.
look
Move
at
on
Yes,
the
to
I do.
Norm.
mirror, man. You can see you don't come from that area.
Okay, so are you going off of Y
Oh,
chromosome?
him?
Yes or
No,
no?
you can look
No,
Chinese
actually,
and
if you
come from
want to
that
go off of
area.
skin tone, and by the way, that's another really stupid Arab argument, because
How
No
is
one's
that
making
stupid?
that argument. Go back.
a black man can have a white grandchild. So multiplied by 50 generations, basically
You
also
think two
proves that what
gener
you're saying is full of
So
shit.
what does that
Okay,
mean
so that's
then?
the
And
second
but
point.
hold on a
So
second.
again,
We're all children of
are you going off the Y
Adam, right?
chromosome? Is
So
that
but
what
we're
you're
all
doing, cynic?
A
so
black
we're
man
Of
all
has a
course,
children of
dog
because
in
Adam.
we're a
June.
Okay, you're
paternal,
going off the Y
we're a
chromosome.
patriarchy.
Okay,
Are
so
you not?
let me ask you
Hey,
something. You know a little
Is
bit about
Isaac
Jewish
not a
history.
man?
You know all about
Oh.
the
Man, he
rapes and
just
stuff like
keeps
that.
Okay,
So the
going,
bro.
Y
I'm
man.
gonna
chromosome
time
would
you,
not
Ian.
really
I'm literally
even
gonna
be
time you
applicable,
at
My
this
right?
God,
point.
mods, you
So the
really need
Y
to
انضغط
chromosome would not
انضغط.
be
ما هو
applicable.
انا هذا
Okay,
Okay, so
الرابع
here you go.
بيضلوا يحكي فوقي. I'm not.
okay, okay.
Rabbi, you're
You
not saying
lost again.
anything.
Okay, Ian, I'm gonna give you the mic to speak after Cynic is done and after Rabbi. Do not interrupt.
There's nothing to say. I already explained to him that the common paternal haplogroup among Egyptians is not J1. Among the Levantines, it is J1. So you're going to have to deal with that. If you don't know the implications of what I'm saying, then there's no reason to have this conversation with you, Ian.
Do
But
I
it
why
with
just
are we
have to
even
Norm. Do it
educate.
with Norm. Do
why
it
are
with
we even
Norm.
getting there though? As I said, you don't even need the haplotype talk. You just take a look at the mirror.
If you
You do,
take a look
obviously.
at, okay, Mashi, in that you went and you married a Chinese woman, are we going to say that your children are not Jordanian?
I mean,
They're not
if
Arab?
after 1,000 years, then yeah, there. I mean, if you have 0.5% from that land, you're not, just
And
generally not.
if you have a paternal lineage that goes back and it says J1, and you look like the most Chinese racist motherfucker out there. You are from you are Middle Eastern. You're from our region.
I that's not how I really see it. I mean, if let's say you have that J1 thingy, but like everyone else in your, like you're all Italians. I think you're more Italian than. Anyways, like you look at Ian, he just clearly doesn't come from the Middle East, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, shit.
I think you're talking culturally versus DNA.
Yeah, culturally, sure, you can lose your culture, you can assimilate into,
Right, that's all
being,
that matters.
but
If everyone in your family comes from
sure, but
Italy,
he can still make a claim that he's a descendant of Middle Easterners.
until you can actually prove that you are a descendant of Jacob, you shouldn't ask anyone else to leave because this land is given to you according to a Torah that you don't even believe in. That's my point.
Norm and Tony are
Wait a
here too.
second.
I think. Yeah, Tony, go ahead.
Is it going to be my turn yet? Because I'm really tired of hearing the
No,
rest of these
yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
bullshit
go
no,
ahead.
there's
assholes.
nothing for
I'll
you to
wait.
add, really. There's nothing for you to say.
Go on, Ian.
Yeah, I mean, again, Cynic mentioned about, well, if you part Chinese or if you marry a Chinese woman, are your kids still Arab? It's funny you mentioned that. Leftovers in the kitchen. Thank you. It's funny you mentioned that. The reason why I say it's funny that you mentioned that is because there is a town in China, Kaohsiung, China. That's actually a Jewish area. The funny thing is, they all look Chinese. So now here's a stupid fucking question for you. How do you think they got that way? Oh, I don't know. They made it with the locals. It's really funny when you live with
No,
the
or,
locals. You
or,
made
or
with the
Ian,
locals.
is
No,
that
wait,
the
wait,
only
wait, wait,
scenario
wait.
you
I'm,
can
I'm
come
not
up
done
with?
yet. I'm not
But is
done
that
yet.
the only scenario you
I'm
can
not.
come
I'm
up
not
with?
done yet. I'm not done yet.
Let him
Shut the
finish,
fuck
fellas.
up.
Let him
Shut
finish.
shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm not done yet. Second point. You're going back all these multiple generations. You don't know about the rapes and all the other shit that has occurred and what else, and all I know is again, because I could tell, look, my friend King over here, I know he is a very black man and he could have a white grandchild. I mean, if you do not understand this basic part
That's not
about
true.
genetics, of
The
it is
black gene is very
100%. It is
strong.
100% true. I
It
got
is
news
true.
for you. I got news for you. Go ahead and
Nah,
take a
the
look
black
at
Very
gene
Derek
is
true.
very
Jeter.
strong,
Derek
Very
sir.
Jeter.
The
true.
black
Look at
gene
Derek
is
Jeter's
very
kids.
strong.
Look at Prince Harry's kids. Prince Harry's kids are actually a quarter. Actually, a
And that's
quarter.
fine. We understand you're
Black.
mixed, but
Okay,
Okay,
so
because
so so here's
they're
my point. You
overwhelmingly
don't
She's
white.
you know
mixed herself,
absolutely
though.
dog
No
shit
one's
about
denying. No
you're
one's
dog shit
denying
about
that.
genetics.
No one's
Okay,
denying if you
so it's
have
just
a
like
if
I
you
mean,
have a
so
black
actually getting into
grandparent, if you have a
discussion with
white
Arabs on
grandparent,
this
there's
is
a chance
actually a
that your
waste of
children.
time because
No
you're too
one's
fucking
denying that.
stupid
But you jumped from
and you
China to talking about white and black babies. So
look,
the chances.
cynic.
Cynic,
You're
just let him
Ian,
asking me
and
finish.
I
Let
don't
him
questions of
like
which
this
I
spill.
fucking
really
silliness.
don't have
I don't
Tony
time
like
to
out.
it,
deal
dude.
with
I'll
with a
drop
schmuck
you.
like you.
I'll
Goodbye.
drop
He
you.
doesn't
man,
have
no
Goodbye,
time
one's
because
man.
denying
Are you
that
gonna
you're
leave?
mixed,
Are you
and
gonna
dude.
everyone
leave?
else.
Are you gonna leave? Bye.
Prince, can
Leave.
you
You can leave.
No one's
yeah,
denying
just
that
move
you're
on. Move
mixed.
on
The
to the next
problem is,
person.
how come are you a descendant of Jacob?
So if you
Oh,
guys
some
That's
keep
Chinese
engaging
people.
with him, he's gonna respond. So if not, just talk to Tony, talk to Norm or something. If you don't want to talk to
and anyone who can
Ian.
answer it. It doesn't matter. Everyone's mixed. No one's saying anyone's
El
pure mixed.
Normo,
You're
watch
telling me,
yourself.
oh, some guys in China are Jews. Okay, maybe some fucking rabbi
Watch myself for what? You're gonna throw a flip flop at me?
decided to cross the globe.
No,
Let me
because you
finish.
jumped into a
Decided to cross
discussion
the
that
globe
you're
and he
talking to
went
the
Actually,
and
they
he
wrong
went over
person.
to
proselytized.
You got a
China
Like
flip flop
centuries
on
proselyte.
me?
ago.
Yeah, you're
Centuries
talking to
ago,
the
and they
wrong guy.
clearly made it with the
They
locals because they
converted.
Yeah,
look the
They
where's the
Yeah.
right
same.
converted.
guy?
What's the
No,
And
problem?
listen, it's very
clearly,
People in
they
simple.
China
made it.
You
And
know
all
the
they
converted.
really
Literally
answer,
need
said
but
you're
is
just
You're
to
have
just
a
jumping.
gonna
clear
understand
talk
opinion.
over
You
something,
me.
and
get
Trying
it.
that's
to
the
You're gonna
point.
talk
pinpoint
over
And that's
mistakes.
the
me.
point.
You can go down to the audience, bro.
He is missing the conversion part. Like, okay, you could convert, we get that, but that doesn't make you. You're not a descendant of Jacob, dude.
No, he thinks
No, it's very
every
simple. It's very simple.
population that's
You want to get the
practicing
cookies.
Judaism
You want to get the
somehow,
cookies, the
man, it
good
has a
cookies.
genetic link all the way back to Levantines, Judeans from 2,000 years ago. Like, don't be stupid. Just don't be stupid.
But
No,
this is
that
putting the
that
cart
cookie is
before
quite
the horse.
expensive.
It doesn't matter whether every single one of them are a descendant of Jacob. What matters is their mentality and their culture, which is entirely problematic and borderline satanic. Middle Eastern Jews, as far as Palestine goes, are almost certainly descendants of Jacob, and yet they are the first to get into line when it comes to slaughtering everyone else around them. Ukrainian Jews were only oh too thrilled to slaughter their Ukrainian neighbors in the Bolshevik takeovers. French Jews did the same thing to native French people. Turkish Jews did the same thing to their Armenian neighbors, and now we see the shit they're pulling in America.
You're quite heroic.
Wait, let's not forget
He
about
sounds just
Christopher
like a
Columbus.
Nazi.
Christopher Columbus was a Jew too.
That as well,
I
yes.
agree. The ideology is the problem.
What
It's not
about
some sort of genetic
Wait, did he
lineage or
just say
some
you
sort of
sound just
blood or
like the
DNA.
Nazis? No, they. You
No, I
sound
know.
just
Me,
like the
me
Nazis.
criticizing Jews.
Just
I'm a
like the
Nazi then.
Nazis.
Well, yeah, but
That's
what if
right.
that if the see El Normo? The thing
They
is,
be how
Wait,
the Nazis doing these days?
pointing
Pretty
well,
out
that
good.
means the
history
Nazis were
is
right.
sounding just like the Nazi.
That means
How
the
the
Nazis
Nazis
were
doing
right.
these days? Pretty good. Winning
Wait, so El
ideology.
Normo, El Normo,
How's that?
you
How's
denied
that
How
El
did
Fourth
the
Normo.
Reich?
world
I want
do
to hear it.
after the
Hold on, guys.
How's
Hold
Nazis?
on,
that
guys.
Fourth Reich
Hold
Check
on,
out
hold
my
working
on,
check
out
hold on,
out
for
hold
check
on.
you?
out my picture. Check out my
Hold the fuck up, El Normo.
How's
You
that Fourth
denied
Reich
that
working out
El
for you?
Normo. You denied that Yagoda oversaw the death and the killing of 13 to 15 million people. You
What the
fucking
fuck are
deny
you
that?
talking about? What?
Genrik
Yagoda, nigga.
Yagoda.
You don't know Yagoda?
What the fuck?
Now let me
This
give
is
you
my
a
problem
lesson
with
on
these fucking
history.
faggots. You don't even know your own fucking history.
Let now, King.
check
Would
out
you
my
like to give
picture.
King?
Look at
King,
my
would you
grandfather in Italy with the
This
Nazis.
nigga
He
doesn't
read a
even
couple of
know
books
that
and
there
now
was
wait?
a Jewish
he's
man.
so
There
angry.
was a Jewish man. There was a Jewish man that oversaw the death of 15 to 20 million fucking people. And he thinks he can yell anti-Semitism. You're a Nazi.
Well,
You're a
are you
Where?
fucking
talking?
faggot.
What's his name?
Are you talking about
King,
the
His name is
Holodomor?
Genrik Yagoda. Look him up.
wait,
What are
can
you
you
talking
give
about?
the
Are you talking
He
about the
context?
saw the
Holodomor?
killing
Yeah, he's
of
talking
more
about the
people
Holodomor.
than Hitler ever could think of. He saw the death of more people. He was a Jewish man
Where?
in the same time period.
In the Soviet
That's not the
Where?
Union.
Where?
Holodomor.
Genrik Yagoda. Look him up.
In the Soviet Union, this is the Holodomor famine that was intentional and caused by the Bolshevik authorities.
That we're not supposed to talk about that.
No, that's right, but I'm
Let's
going to
please
talk
change the
about it.
topic.
At a minimum, it is estimated that about 200 of the 350 people in the first Bolshevik Politburo were Jewish.
We're all Jewish.
There are Ukrainian historians. I'm forgetting his name. I think it's Yuri was it Shapoval? Yeah, I think Yuri Shapoval. He did a study on the KGB of Ukraine, which was the apparatus that was responsible for Holodomor. He concluded that at least 57% of officers in the KGB of Ukraine were Jews. The Ukrainian
Can you
SBU,
please write down the names? There's so many names dropped.
I will happily write them down
Yeah,
when I
I'm
am
getting
done
his name
speaking.
right now.
Yeah. The Ukrainian SBU also released a list of people that they said were absolutely, definitely responsible and complicit in the Holodomor genocide. The Jewish Telegraph Agency started complaining that the list was anti Semitic, not because the list was incorrect or that they disputed any of the names, but simply because they said the list had too many Jews on it.
So you're
Literally
mixing the
no other reason.
Soviets and the Nazis. You're all and the Ukrainians. You're all confused. You
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have like a
I know.
mishmash of
It's
No,
common
amazing
that's
Did
how
You're
I
an
not.
everyone
idiot.
wants to
Yo,
set
mention?
it
Did
El
up
I
as
Normo,
mention
war.
you're
the
a
As
fucking
long
Nazis
as you
idiot.
can.
once?
You're an idiot.
Did I mention the Nazis once? God
That's
damn.
Genrik Yagoda. Go look at him. I
Yeah,
just
you
I
always
posted him.
do
mentioned
mention it.
Nazis.
That's
You
true.
No,
I
no,
looked
no,
him up. You
I
no,
see,
no.
know. You're a
this
You
is
know
black
that the
mark. I
argument is
get
KGB.
it.
What
good
are
I
you
if
see
you
that
talking
shit.
if you
about?
accuse a Jew.
These are the
That's how you know
Soviets. You
that the
don't know the
argument is
difference
good.
Yeah,
between the
but you
Soviets
are
and the
aware that the
Nazis.
Bolshevik leadership was Jewish, dude. Come on, let's not play games.
No, they weren't.
What does
Yes,
that
they
have
They
to
Yes,
do
they
were.
with?
weren't.
What
were.
does that
Oh
have to do
God.
with
No, they
anything?
weren't. No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
By definition, they'd be atheists because they were
Yeah,
absolute. They
but
were
most Jews are
communists, right?
atheists. If you didn't
Right.
notice.
But I mean, who
Jews
is it?
Jews
I
are
know you
not
got
atheists. You
Trotsky.
just
Give
You
me
don't
are
know
another
it.
one.
That's
Most
the word.
Christians that
I
are
know you got
baptized are
Trotsky. Give me
atheists.
another one. You got
All of this
Trotsky. Give me
because you're
another
not
one.
a Jew. All of this
Give
flat
me a.
Earth,
I got. I'll give you
Bigfoot
Trotsky. Give me
nonsense
another one.
theories because you're not
I
a
mean,
Yeah,
Okay,
you
Jew.
but
can't give
idiot.
another
here's
one.
here's the problem for you guys, and again, this is
No,
again a
no, you're
lovely
full of
thing
shit.
that this is a lovely thing the Bolsheviks did to make things easy for us. So yes, they rejected the concept of
No,
religious
you're full
Judaism.
of shit.
We
Okay,
don't agree with
now
the
I
Bolsheviks.
have to do this again. God damn! Please, no one bring them up until I'm done, because this is gonna take forever and an age. Yeah, they flatly rejected the concept of religious Judaism, but they absolutely supported the idea of ethnic Judaism, and they
exactly.
did their utmost best to fill their ranks with ethnic Jews, including but not limited to the big man Vladimir Lenin himself, who is testified by the KGB to have had a Jewish grandparent. But yeah, the Bolshevik ranks completely filled with these
Correct.
guys.
It's as if Marx was not a Jew. It's as if
Yeah, he was a Jew
Trotsky was
too.
not a Jew.
Yes.
I mean, come on,
Exactly.
dude.
Yeah.
What is well, see?
I
It's
mean,
so
we just
funny how
found
they
out.
always say that you can be a Jew without being Jewish, but when it comes to this, suddenly you have to be Jewish to be a Jew. It's amazing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Correct. And look, respectfully,
Interesting.
this
So what is the point that all the Jews are bad people
Let's
and they
no.
have to
no,
be
That's
not
killed,
not
or
see,
what
the
are
and
you
then
trying
y'all
point.
to
do
The
this.
say?
point
Then
is
y'all do
very
the apex
simple.
fallacy. Nobody said all Jews were bad, right? Nobody said that. Again, I have plenty of Jewish friends. It's
No,
just
no, you've been
what we've
saying
seen.
that.
What we've seen is a carefully crafted PR campaign, right? That has been very successful up until the last couple of years, right? Because at the end of the day, respectfully, Tony, everybody else is asked to have an account for their entire history, not just part of it. Respectfully, when you look at people like Gendrik Yagoda, I just posted his name, and others who played a primary role in the death of millions. I'm not just talking about hundreds of, I'm talking millions of people, more people than the Holocaust, but you're asking people to only have a pain barrier for a certain group of people. People are going to start asking questions. And that's what people have been doing.
Right. When you do realize that there has been millions of people who have been involved in the Second World War and First World War,
I
and
do.
there were a lot of decision makers. You do
I
realize
My
that.
do.
friend,
But
why are
when
you
we look
talking?
at
Wait,
the,
wait, no. But firstly, why are you mentioning the Second and First World War? Holodomor was not during the Second and First World War.
No, he was talking about the Holocaust.
Uh, we're not talking
No,
about
the Holodomor.
the
no,
Holodomor, dude.
Holodomor, bro. Look it up, Tony. Then this
It's
is my
it's
problem.
the
Look,
it's the
this is
genocide that
my
they never
issue with
told you
your
about for
people.
obvious
Your
reasons.
people wants to your look from my reading of World War II. The
Bring
way
the
I look at it
normal up,
now, as
shit.
compared to when I was in elementary school or high school, there were no angels. That's the way. That's the actual World War II. There were no angels. There were a lot of devils. That's the way I look, including Hitler, and but there was a lot of other like Gendrik Yagoda. I think uh, Sheikh.
Lazar Kaganovich as
Exactly. He
well.
named a bunch of them too. And so your people had a hand in not only murdering plenty of Russians, including the entire Tsar family, but they also oversaw the death of millions of people as the head
Right.
of the
Yet,
communist movement.
the Hamas
That
is
is
the good ones, right?
documented.
You're confusing apples and
No,
oranges,
I'm not.
King.
And
Yes, you are.
what the let me explain real quick. What the narrative and the PR campaign that you guys rightfully pointed out, Rabbi, you said it, you sort of crystallized it, is that there is a bait and switch where now Jews will say, well, there was just an
Yeah.
ideology. It's not about the Jewish people. When you look at communism and the formation of it by Karl Marx, what you essentially have is a secular version of Judaism in the same way that secularists today have created a sanitized version of Christianity called humanism.
Just
But you
look at the
cannot deny the
leadership.
foundation. You cannot deny the foundation for which it comes from. Respectfully, communism is a sanitized version of Judaism that is
It
made
is.
specifically
You
to
should
No,
look at
that's
govern.
the
Right.
That
not
is
what
following
made
points.
Okay.
specifically
Judaism
to
So
is.
govern
Wait,
from a godless
I
Judaism
get
is
it.
position. It was
Torah.
Vic, I
made
get it.
can we
specifically
let
to govern
Solomon.
Rabbi?
from a godless
Judaism is
position.
Torah, Solomon.
Say it again.
Can we let Rabbi say what he was about to say?
Judaism is
Well,
Torah,
nothing. It's just
Solomon.
very simple. Just you don't need to look further, man. Just look at the early Bolshevik like revolutionists. I mean, come
Correct.
on. Like, just take a look at them. Like, again, you can deny that Trotsky was a Jew. You can deny that. Go ahead,
But
deny it.
What does that have to
we'll
do
let
with
someone
anything?
from the other side respond. Go
How is
ahead, Norm.
communism Judaism? Explain.
Well, I'm just letting. Well, we're telling you that the Jews were in positions of power in the Soviet Union ever since the beginning, and
Right.
they
There
were
were
No,
Jews,
responsible
there were
Jews.
for the
goys. What
Yeah, the
Holodomor.
Jews
difference?
are
How is this
responsible
relevant to
for
anything?
everything.
Okay, so hold on. So El Normo, explain to
The
me
moon
how
might fall on
you
the
hold on,
ground.
hold on.
It's all
Yo,
because
Wait,
of the
Tony,
I
Tony,
Jews.
asked you a
Tony, you got
question.
to stop interrupting
What does
people. El
Judaism have to
Normo,
do with
explain to me. El
communism?
I need
Normo,
to start
this is what you're
interrupting people
asking.
But
like
it's
you.
not
Explain to me, El
Judaism, dude. You're
Normo.
switching back. You
Explain to
see?
me. Explain to me, El Normo, how humanism is Christianity. Explain that to me.
We have nothing to do with humanism. What are you
No,
talking
I'm just
about?
asking you to explain it to me.
It doesn't have anything
How
to
is
do with
humanism
Christianity.
Christianity?
Why? What's the? I asked you how Judaism is
And I'm asking you
communism.
how humanism is Christianity.
But
Who
it's not.
said that?
But
Who said
dude,
that it
Because
dude,
that,
dude,
was?
dude.
because that,
That's called a
Oh
you're
my
straw
god,
that's the
man.
same
that
thing
is
you're
absurd.
asking about. What
Wait
I
a
I
told
second.
you
read?
You
was
Can I
said that
read
Judaism was
some?
communism.
Can I?
I'm
Can
No,
I?
asking you
Okay,
no,
let
how.
I
me
did. I said
read.
it's a
Let's.
godless. Oh my God! See, this is my problem.
This is what you said.
I
Dude,
said
El
it's a
Normo, you are
godless.
no,
intentionally
but
deflecting,
It's a
dude, because we
what's
godless
your
literally
No,
told
I'm
freaking
you're the
asking him
one
a
who
proposal?
says
question
that there's a
based on his
difference between a
claim.
Jew and Jewish, man. Why do you go
I'm
back to
asking him a
Judaism?
question based on his claim. Now,
Okay,
show
but
me
Yes.
it's not
this
about
PR campaign.
Judaism. It
Show
is
me
not
who
about
wrote the
Judaism, dude.
King. Okay, so you agree? So
Yeah,
the
he's not
communism.
getting it, Rabbi. He's not getting it.
But
So
he's
El
intentionally
Solomon.
Normo,
deflecting,
El
though. That's the
Normo.
thing.
In the
No,
same
I'm
way,
not
hold on, hold
deflecting.
on,
I'm
hold on. Let
asking
me
him
let me
about his
explain it.
claim.
El
But
Normo,
you're
just be
asking a
quiet.
very
Just be
irrational
quiet, El
question.
Normo, and then I can explain it. And if you were actually paying attention, in the same way that a Christian environment outputted humanism, meaning people who grew up with a moral framework, with a spiritual and religious framework of Christianity, abandoned that and said, let's take all the good parts or the parts we want and mix it in, remix it with our own value system.
King,
In the same
Judaism
way,
is
communism,
Torah.
in the same way, communism is a remix of Judaism in the sense that those people who formed it out of a moral understanding and a spiritual understanding of Judaism, abandoned the God part, abandoned all the things that actually made it salvageable,
Show me the
and mixed in.
Torah
Yo,
in
That
shut the fuck up when
communism.
I'm
sounds very
talking.
interesting.
Shut the fuck
I
up when
got
I'm
your point.
talking.
I got your point.
Okay,
But
all
there's
right.
no
So
Torah.
don't act like you can't do that. You absolutely can
It
because
makes
it
no
was done
sense.
Let,
Your
let me
multiple
claim
let,
times.
let me make a point.
it's an ignorant
Let me
claim.
answer to that.
There's no
Let me
Torah
answer
in
to that.
communism.
This
Oh,
nigga stupid. I
well,
said
no,
it's a
King.
No,
remix.
no, no.
King. I'm
Let me
actually
answer
gonna
to that.
What does that
explain.
mean? It's a
I'll
remix.
explain. I'll explain why
How
even the
God is
atheists.
at the center of
He's not
Judaism. There's
stupid.
no
He's just
God in
he's
Oh,
communism.
intentionally
okay,
deflecting.
now
That's all.
I'm gonna explain for the rest of the audience why even the
I'm
atheist
directly
aspect.
addressing his claim. I'm not
I'm gonna
deflecting.
explain to the audience how even the atheist aspect is even the natural conclusion of Judaism. In Judaism, there are many passages and ideas in the Talmud that suggest, if not implicitly directly state, that God is subservient to the Jewish people. God does what the Jewish people want, not the
That is
reverse.
false. This is
That
a
is
false
not false.
claim.
Kiddushin 40b, study of the Talmud is more
This
important than
is a
study of the
false
Torah.
claim.
I just gave you a literal exact verse. Now you can either go show that that verse doesn't exist, or you can cry in the audience. By the way, I'm not putting him down because I
that's
don't
one
want
of
him
the
to be up.
opposites. It's one of the opposites.
I'm not putting him down, by the way, because I don't want him to be up here. It's just he literally interrupts way too much. Anyway, if you say that God is subservient to you and that you can out debate God, for instance, see the oven of a Kenai story, then by just logical deduction, God is not really God.
Correct.
Definitionally, God is the all powerful, all knowing, supreme master of the universe, etc., etc. If you can out debate a being like that and make him do what you want rather than the reverse, that being is not God.
So they
So,
believe they decide when the Mashiach comes.
yeah, exactly. Now,
It's
if you
amazing.
think, now,
Well,
the
that's
only
not true as well.
now, how does this lead to atheism? Well,
And
if you
communism.
exactly, how does this lead to atheism as it relates to communism? If you believe this, then you conclude, well, God is not really God. How far is it to make the next logical conclusion, which is to say that God doesn't exist? The only real difference between the psychotic rabbi and the atheist Jew, the psychotic rabbi thinks that thinks that God is his dog to be kicked around and beaten and attacked and attack people when he wants. The atheist Jew just says, "Well, actually, I don't need this dog anymore," and he lets it go. This, of course, leads to communism being a Jewish idea because why? The atheist Jews just said, "Well, we don't need God anymore. The whole purpose of our God is just to attack the Christian God." Well, actually, we don't need to believe in God at all to do that. So we can just say God doesn't
How
exist.
many Christians were communists?
Not many.
No, no,
Actually,
Actually,
the
quite a
many.
few. Quite a
dude,
few. What
my
was the
days,
predominant
dude.
religion?
If you are a genuine believer in communism, you get excommunicated, dude.
What was the predominant religion in Russia?
How many
My
churches were
days.
functional in Soviet Russia?
Exactly.
Yeah, Orthodox
Orthodoxy,
Christian.
orthodoxy.
So again, Sheik, you're full of shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So how
go ahead and
many?
keep
So
your
how
line
many? Well,
going.
I'm Orthodox. So how many
Wait,
Orthodox
why is he full of shit?
churches
Why
were
is he
there?
full of shit? I don't get
Because
Because
it.
the
about
predominant religion
wokeism.
in Russia
I
was
think
But
Orthodox
wokeism
how
is
many
created by
functional
Yeah,
Christian.
churches?
we
authoritarianism
know
because all
that.
the
And
woke
what
people
was
Okay,
the
think
then
that
they
predominant
makes
religion of
sense.
the
became
leadership?
communists,
What
i.e.,
was the
atheists. So he's
of
full
the
of shit.
leadership
But you know what?
Oh my days.
of
If you
the
want to
You can
believe
keep
leadership
our
going,
baby
dude.
over
How
here,
many
of
you can
the
shut up
functional
right now.
churches
leadership
were there in Russia in the
the
Soviet time? How
leadership.
many?
That's right.
What's
How
the
many? Was there
question,
more than
Rabbi?
three functional churches in Georgia, for example, where Stalin came from?
Yep.
During the Soviet Union, you mean?
Yeah,
Doesn't
they're
mean
all shut
anything.
down. The churches were shut
Yeah,
down.
they killed the Christians, they killed the
Orthodox
pastors, and they
Christians,
shot
yeah.
the churches down. We know
Yeah.
this. We know
Yeah,
this.
they
Okay,
didn't
well,
go
if you
after the
know
There
this,
Jews.
was no
then
religion
Sheik,
in the
then
Soviet Union
stop talking
whatsoever.
bullshit. I mean,
Don't.
seriously, what you're saying is the most retarded stuff out there. Jews represent just a small
There it
percentage of
is.
the
Okay, can
world's
I read you some
Okay,
population.
can you
facts,
have any
Ian?
But
do you
Okay,
The
have any
Jews
okay.
started
argument?
slavery before the
Let me
transatlantic
read
slave
some
trade.
facts
The
about the
Jews started
Bolshevik
slavery.
no.
leadership.
No.
Resistance,
Why
stop
are
with
you
that
running?
bullshit.
Come on, don't be a pussy for once in your life.
They did. I got the
This is
proof.
what you
No, they
said.
Okay.
didn't,
This
bro.
is what you claimed.
They
So
did
let's
so.
go
But
with it.
dude, can you
Are you
give
going
an
to run away and be
argument
a
instead
pussy?
of
Okay, you're
statement?
going to be a
You're just
pussy.
giving a statement. You're not giving an argument.
All right, I'm gonna read some facts
Yeah,
about the
no. He's
Bolshevik
being a pussy.
Okay,
leadership.
He's being a pussy because he
Read
doesn't
hold on.
some
understand.
facts. This is a good.
Okay, let me moderate this between Sheikh, Rabbi, and the Ian and the rest. Okay, hold on. We're gonna let Sheikh read his passage, and Ian, then you get to comment. Stop interrupting each other. We're not understanding shit.
No worries.
Go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
to read a few reports from Captain Montgomery Schuyler, he sent two reports about the Bolshevik leadership back in 1919. The first one, This is dated to March 1st, 1919. It is probably unwise to say this loudly in the United States, but the Bolshevik movement is and has been since its beginning guided and controlled by Russian Jews of the greatest type. The second dated to 19th of June.
Wait. Who's this guy
Can I
making the
finish? Oh
claim?
my! Why
One at
does
a
it?
time. One at a time.
Normal. I will put you down and you won't be brought up. Shut up. You're gonna get to
Who
speak
gives a
when you get.
fuck?
Yeah, let him
You,
finish, Norm.
shut
Normal,
up.
your mother gives a fuck.
The second, dated to 9th of June, 1919. Of the 384 commissars in the Soviet Union, there were 2 Negroes, 13 Russians, 15 Chinamen. By this, I presume he means Eastern, like Asians, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. 22 Armenians, and more than 300 Jews. Of the
Sorry,
latter,
more than 300 Jews out of what?
out of 384.
Amazing.
Of the latter number, 264 had
Right,
come to
where are
Russia.
you
And
reading
how
this?
do?
Could
What's
you
the
please post
credibility of
so
your claim?
we can see
Explain
the
your claim.
context as well?
I cited the author it came from
You
right
have
from the
to
beginning.
refute
Right.
it,
And
nigger. You
and
can't
in what
just
way is this
say
guy
Where is
that
credible?
this
it's not.
cited from?
I just told you. You weren't listening the first time.
And in what way is this guy credible? Explain to us.
No, it's
He's a
very
captain
difficult
in the
to
U.S.
listen
Army,
right now.
dude.
What's that?
He's
He
in
was a
what?
captain and intelligence officer in the U.S. Army.
Okay, how about we don't deflect
Give me
immediately to
his
stabbing
name.
the
Give
credibility
me
and
this
let us
guy's name. You
continue
find the
I
most
listening
told
to
you
his
from the
objective.
claim
beginning.
and then we
Listen
can.
to the fucking
I'm
topic.
writing
How
it
about you
down.
Right.
let
Say
him
it
So
finish
again.
the
go
What
ahead,
claim and
is
then
please.
that
we
you
can
want
talk
to
about the
Say it.
source?
Say it
Wait,
again. I
one
want to
second.
hear.
I don't want.
Hey, savages, shut the fuck up. Let him finish, then you get to speak. Shut up.
No worries. I don't want to commandeer the room, but I mean, number one, it wouldn't matter who the source is. If it's correct, it's correct.
Well,
So
And
the
what would
no,
make it
onus,
correct if we don't know
the
who the
oh
source
my
is?
So let's hear
days,
the source.
Norm,
the
go
days.
down. Norm, go
I'll
down.
write the
Ian,
website right now, quickly.
This is getting too
Ian, mute
crazy.
up.
And
Uh,
their
what
lies.
What's funny? I told the source from the beginning, but the
Can you
onus
put the
on
source in
you.
the chat?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. But the onus on you guys that disagree is to show that what he's saying is false. I can
We
give more to
already know that.
substantiate
Like
that.
it's already the burden of proof is on him. Is if he's gonna say that it's not Jews because we already know it's common knowledge
Okay,
it's Jews.
put it in the chat. And let Norm review it while he's in the
Where's
audience, and then I'll bring him up.
But he won't review
Ian,
it.
you wanna go? Ian,
No,
you
no.
wanna
I mean,
go?
it comes down to whatever source he's using. I mean, look, I'll give you Trotsky. Give me another name. I mean, I don't think you can.
Gendry
Who was the
Yagoda, I
one
already
that
gave
was
you
really
one.
in control?
Gendrik
That was
Yagoda.
Lenin. Okay, then Lenin went to
I'm gonna
Stalin,
come.
and
I'm gonna
and
bring
yet
you a
when
bunch of
and
names.
under
Don't worry,
Stalin,
Ian.
25 million. Wait a minute, shut up. 25 million. Soviets died. Between World War. But you're going to then look to blame another Jew that nobody's ever heard of, which is like really, really interesting. So no, I'm listening
it's
to
super
this,
interesting.
and once again, you're talking about an extremely small percentage of the world's population, but for whatever reason, tar baby that you are. I mean, you just have to blame everybody, and I
Okay,
don't
but
know,
you
maybe it's
It
understand
because.
that
was the
Nazis
Jews that
were
Listen,
started the trade
honestly,
slave
it could be
trading.
Hold on. You
because
guys
You
gonna
maybe a
weasel.
sexual
say tar
abuse you
baby?
received at the Catholic Church. I
You
think
guys
that
gonna
has
let
a
him say
lot to do
tar
with it.
baby?
oh,
I'm
that's
Okay,
Yeah,
being
fucking
you
these
can
sorry,
keep
but
it
I
people.
think
safe
It,
if you
that
want,
definitely is
Senator.
it.
you don't need more
these
than
people are
Because
the
5%.
fucking
because
white
because
weasel
because listening to
cavemen.
what you're saying, you're going to look for a source
My
that's
my
going to back
question,
a
my
twisted
question
opinion
to
This
over and
guy's
over again.
wasting
You're
time.
not
hold on,
interested in the
hold on,
realistic. Let me say this.
hold on, Ian,
You
hold on.
mentioned whoa. You mentioned over 300 people. I'd be interested in what names these are and what and where you actually could come up.
I will bring names
Nigger, if
too.
you
Don't
got
worry.
the names, you'd cry that it wasn't real.
No,
Okay,
I would
I have a
love to verify
question.
this. I would
I have
love
a
to
question
verify this
for
because once
Rabbi
Don't
and
make
again,
me
Sheikh.
cry.
how is
I
it
have a,
possible that
It is true.
Russians
He's
are
gonna deny it no matter
I
what.
have a question for Rabbi and Sheikh
can I
and
just ask you this? How is it possible
and
that
Tim. Wait 1 second, Ian. This might help you out. Hold on. Let's see. So, what's the percentage of Jews in the leadership? In the
Uh,
Communist Party, the Bolsheviks,
I
or the
just remember
Soviet
it
Union?
was more than 80%.
yeah.
So 300 something out of
80%?
It was
380.
90%. It was 90%.
You guys gotta be fucking kidding right now.
No,
No, dude.
I'm
Even
not going to
what's
make a number, but it
90%,
was the
Prince. I
majority.
was shocked myself.
I
I
have
was
a
shocked
list of the
myself when I
names.
looked
I'm
at it.
looking for it right now.
I was shocked
same
myself,
actually.
bro. And they name out the thing. And if you give me a second, I'll get the list. They actually name out all the
How
individuals
the
in
fuck
the
is this even
Bolshevik
possible?
Party. Because, like I
How
said,
is this
the
and
one
if I'm
possible?
thing,
not
the one thing
mistaken,
you
you
have
have
to give,
Lenin on that
the one
list.
thing you have to give the Jewish
Do you have
diaspora,
you have
you
Lenin
got to
on that
give them
list?
the PR
Ken, you
game.
have
They've
Lenin
done
on
a
that
man,
list?
good,
this guy needs to
they've
stop
done a
interrupting,
good
dude. Like, come on,
PR. They've
mods,
done
come on.
good PR
But he's the
in
only
in
he's the only dissenting
essentially
voice, Rabbi.
erasing They've
Well,
done
that's
a
fine,
good
but like move him to
PR
the audience or
in
something.
Do
erasing
you have Lenin
all of
on that
that part of
list?
the history.
I mean, it's a very simple question. Do you consider Lenin to
He,
be a Jew? Because I've heard that claim also,
well, seems
and
like
that's
it.
completely bullshit. But just
Is,
See,
I
is
well,
don't
he
know
is
as
he
how
not
you can say
long
Jewish?
complete. So how can you
Is
say
he not
completely
Jewish?
no, Ian?
He had
How can
to
you
Lenin is
say
be
not Jewish. Yeah,
completely
radical.
no
Lenin's
with
not
that?
Jewish.
No,
I
how can you
told you,
say
I'll give
No,
you
completely
one
no
of
Trotsky.
his
with that?
grandparents
Trotsky, I
was
know of.
Jewish. I don't even
After
think it was
that,
his
I would like
mother's
that
mother.
know and have the have the stuff
Wait,
verified.
what makes them not Jewish? What makes them not Jewish, Ian?
Well, to be
What makes
Jewish,
them
his
not
mother would have
Jewish?
to
Oh,
be
Oh,
I
that's a
don't know,
Jewish.
good.
because
See,
the
that's
fact
a
that they
good
were not
question,
raised in
Prince.
a Jewish
Because
home. I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
Wait,
not
You,
guys,
how
guys,
Israel
guys, guys,
defines
what
guys,
what
Jewishness,
what
guys.
makes the
Yaakov.
Okay,
community
So
really
let's
need?
not play that
Seriously,
game.
Sounds like a
they
name you
need
use
that.
when you want to
okay,
accuse
okay,
someone of
okay,
something. Oh,
okay.
you're a
Hold
You
Jew.
on.
need to have that
We're
explained.
we're gonna give the mic to Yakov. We're gonna give the mic to Yakov. Yakov, what makes Lenin and Trotsky not Jewish?
Uh,
Yakov.
I'm looking at it. One of his grandparents was Jewish, so if it was his mother's mother, then he would be Jewish. If it was anything but that, then he would not be Jewish.
But
that
you
is
no,
made
that
the
is
claim that
Listen,
he
ridiculous.
can I
isn't.
finish?
so if his
Hold on.
father was Jewish, he's not
That's
Jewish.
starting the eighth
Correct,
century.
correct, correct. The definite way we do it in our religion. I don't want
Hold
to
on.
say
Correct.
how other people
So he
claim
wouldn't
it,
have
but
Jewish blood.
he may have had his grand. Let's say I'm researching it now. His grandfather. Let's say his grandfather on his father's side could have been Jewish, right? Because the great grandfather was Jewish, but just because his grandfather was Jewish doesn't make him Jewish. You need your mother to be Jewish, and therefore you
Yeah,
Okay,
need
that's
your
only
mother's
starting
we're
mother
we're
to
not
be
the.
gonna
Voila,
teach
Jewish.
what
voila.
And if he
what
was
a
raised in a
So
Jewish,
there's
and if he was
several
raised in a
issues with this
Christian
we
home,
don't
argument.
need to
Number one,
teach
even
what
if he was
someone
not a
who's
Jew from
Jewish
his
determines
mama,
what
that
someone is
doesn't
Jewish.
mean he wasn't influenced by Judaism. Number one.
It
no,
doesn't mean he
influence
doesn't
Number
have
now.
two is
knowledge
you
of
Now
only
it's
Yeah,
start
Judaism.
yeah,
doing
as
influence.
well.
that
He
in
It
was
the eighth
doesn't
influenced
Now
century.
it's
by
In the
Wait,
11th
influence.
Christianity and
century,
then
it was
after.
always
question.
paternal.
Now it's influence. So now a quarter
I
Jewish
mean,
is enough
hold
to
on,
really
hold on,
scare the
guys,
hell out of
guys.
This
you,
is like
right?
listening
Look,
to a
being
Democrat
Jewish is
about the
0 or
A
definition of
1.
what a
It's
quarter,
Republican
binary.
is.
It's
a
0 or
quarter.
1.
Yeah,
You've
everyone's
heard me
Guys,
talking
say
over
that
guys,
That's
everybody
enough
now
to make
instead
you
of
get all
arguing the actual
pussified,
point.
right?
guys, stop, please, stop. So the question is, Yakov,
yes,
uh, Ariel on the app is a convert. He's a Jew.
correct.
Lenin is descendant of Jews, neither part of the maternal or paternal
Okay.
line. I don't know. But what makes you think he's not Jewish? What makes
Because
you
I'm
think he
gonna
didn't
find it out.
practice
I'm
Judaism
gonna.
or grow up
What
being a
about
Jew?
the Mensheviks? Because there's not only Bolsheviks, and
No,
the
but he's
Mensheviks were also
therefore
Jews.
saying that Ariel's not fucking Jewish.
Yeah, correct.
You know, it wasn't just.
So which is it? You can't fucking have it both ways.
What? You can
Yeah, I
convert
mean
to
it's
become
crazy when you
Jewish.
think about it.
What
So
kind of
is
household was
Ariel
he
not
raised in?
Because
Jewish? This
Yakov,
black guy
let's
from
Hold on.
say
Detroit
no,
or
hold
What
on, hold
kind
on,
of
Wisconsin
Lenin's
Yakov.
household was he
maternal
Let's
raised
say
in?
we didn't
grandfather.
know,
Here, it's exactly
Yakov.
what I
Let's say
said.
we did. Hold on,
Can I
Yakov. Let's say
give you
we
the
didn't
answer?
know. Hold on, bro. Let's say we didn't even know what his parent. We didn't know either side of his parents. We didn't know any of that information,
Right?
but we did have the ability to test his DNA. What would his DNA show?
And if it turns out you have a black grandparent, I take it you're a white guy king? Really?
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no,
No,
Ian. Just
let's not.
answer the question.
No, no, no.
If we
I'm
didn't
asking
know,
you.
if we had no
We do
information
not
and we
use
took and
DNA
we
to
took
say
a
who's
test,
Jewish. Okay,
what would his
listen.
DNA show, Yakov?
It
That's all
would
I want to
it would
know.
show that some portion of it was Jewish, but we do not
Thank
use
you.
DNA. We do not use
Well,
DNA
there
to
we
say
go.
who's
But sir,
Jewish.
you do though.
No, we
You
don't.
do. Yes,
Listen,
you do.
listen.
No,
Partially,
no,
yes.
DNA is not
Please don't
accepted
teach
widely.
me.
Okay,
Maybe some
so one or
accepted
Listen,
it.
two
his
percent
maternal
Jewish DNA
grandfather,
means that the person's
Israel
Jewish. Is
Blank.
that what
Can
you're
I
going
answer,
by?
please? His maternal grandfather, Israel Blank, was Jewish, but his maternal, his mother's mother was not Jewish. So therefore, he's not halakhically Jewish.
What
What
about
about
King David?
Trotsky?
What about King David? Because that was the case for him.
Oh shit.
Go ahead. Yeah,
That's a good one.
because
That's a good
prior to
one.
the 8th century, the Jews didn't do it this way. But then some stanky rabbi showed up, and then they changed it to maternal in the 8th
Yeah, that
century.
no, it
So
was no, it happened
yeah, that
before
is
that.
what it is.
Ezra,
Google it.
Ezra
Thought
did
it
The
was
that.
third
terrible
century.
lineage is from
Ezra
your
did that
father's
when they
side.
came
The
back from
religion is
the
from your mother's side.
exile.
It's actually in the 8th century. Google it.
Yeah, it's earlier than
Randy,
that. It's
take a
much
look at
earlier than that.
Telegram right now. I'm sending you this with the
All
Jewish,
right.
No, I
the
don't
All
think it
right.
was
So
Jewish
Ezra. It was
Bolshevik
definitely
leadership.
what was Trotsky then? Was
Regardless,
Trotsky
What?
not
whatever they
Jewish?
say,
What?
there's
response.
King David, and they can't explain it. So
What
yeah,
was
that's right. That's
Trotsky?
bullshit.
Was Trotsky not Jewish?
Yes,
I
he
think he
was.
was. I believe he was, but let me look.
Was the
Christopher
only two?
Columbus
Trotsky
was
was
Jewish.
Jewish.
There was
Yagoda was
Trotsky, and
Jewish.
then there was the what was it? The KVM. There's the secret
Yeah,
police.
Yagoda. I think you might
Yeah,
be talking about
Yagoda.
him.
Those were
Yeah,
the only
Henrik
two
Yagoda was
that were
Jewish.
like. But Karl Marx was not a. He was definitely not a Jew.
Karl Marx was a Jew. What
No,
are you
he
No,
talking
was
he
a
about?
was
Jew. He
not.
No, he
wasn't
wasn't a
Jewish.
Yes,
Jew.
he
He was
was.
raised in a
Karl
Yeah.
Christian
Marx was a
The
household.
Jew, bro.
fuck?
Seriously, how stupid are you guys? I mean, you hear it over and over again,
Okay,
and
So it is a religion. So it is a religion.
anybody
Mother,
could go look him
Trotsky's
up.
mother,
He was
Anna
raised in a
Bronstein.
Christian household. What don't you understand about that?
Who? Marx?
Yes,
I
Marx.
thought
Oh, you're
Yeah,
Jews.
saying
Marx
Marx
did
is
not
not a
grow up
Jew. That's what
Jewish.
you're saying.
I mean, seriously, how stupid are you guys?
So you're saying Marx is not a Jew.
No,
No,
Marx is
he's
not
not
a
a
No,
Jew.
Jew.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're
what
retarded.
makes him not Jewish? His
So you
mom
can't be a
was not
Christian Jew.
Jewish?
No, he
Wait,
was. He
wait,
He
was.
was
He
raised in a
was a
Christian
Jew.
household. How fucking
Look,
So
stupid
look.
are
Judaism
you?
is a
wait,
Karl
wait,
religion.
wait.
Marx.
He
No,
was
no,
Karl.
no, no,
raised in
no.
a
Listen,
King,
Christian
King,
listen,
King,
listen,
household.
hold up,
listen.
What
hold
more do you
up.
want?
Karl
King, hold
Marx
up.
was born into a Jewish family, but his
Okay, then he's
parents
Jewish.
converted.
He
But
was
his parents
raised, no, his
converted.
parents
But
okay.
his
converted.
parents
Somebody
They
Then
converted
were
he's
asked.
raised
to.
Jewish.
But
Christian.
his parents
Come on,
converted to Christianity.
King.
But his parents
Stop
converted
with
to
your stupidity
Christianity
there.
before he was
Yeah, but
born.
then he's Jewish,
His
King. Then he's
father,
Jewish.
Henrik Marx, was originally Jewish, but converted to Lutheranism in order to continue practicing law in Russia.
And
So this could be a
he
situation.
was
This
raised
could be a
as a
So he's a
situation
Christian.
crypto
of
Jew. He's
He
a
crypto.
was
crypto
This
raised
could
as
Jew.
a
be a
Christian, went
situation
to
of a
church, all
crypto
that
Jew.
stuff.
We know crypto Jews exist,
Oh
and
god.
this
There's
could
no
be
They're
proof
gonna
that he
evidence
was
deny
a
it.
of
That's
why
what.
crypto.
It
it was
doesn't
the
matter. They're
case.
just gonna deny it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
there's
why
no
Ian
proof
is
that he was a
that.
crypto Jew. Like this is
Sir,
something
he
that if
convert. It literally said he
yes, I
converted.
get it. I
He
get it. I get
converted
it.
to Lutheranism in order to
I
continue
yes,
practicing
I get it. We're
law in
talking
Really?
about
Russia,
Karl. We're
Yeah.
where
talking about
Jews
Karl
face.
Marx.
He
Let me
was
finish what
raised
I'm
in the
saying. Let me
church.
finish what I'm
What don't
saying.
you
Karl
We
Let
understand?
me
get
Marx.
it, but we're
finish what
talking
I'm
about
saying.
Karl. We're
Crazy
not talking
Let
people.
about
me
his
finish
dad.
what I'm saying. I
He was
appreciate
But
it.
you
raised
already
in a
Let
Oh
me
repeated
my
finish.
it.
God!
church.
Should
Let
we
me.
get we?
Pepe, put the loud mic down.
Yeah, put
Okay,
that.
I just want to. I'm
Ooh,
gonna say
that's
one thing
loud.
before King goes. One second. I've been told many times that it doesn't matter if you're a Jew and you convert to Islam or Christianity,
Correct.
you're still a Jew. So why is Karl Marx not
No,
Jewish?
if you
Correct.
convert to
Because they don't want
Christianity,
it. They
you're no
don't.
longer a Jew, though.
Let
That's
me
what they
just finish
believe.
what I
No,
had
they
to
say
say.
you are, Rabbi.
Let
They
me
say
And
finish
he
you.
what I
was an
had to say.
atheist
Can
Jew.
I
He was an
answer
Let
the
atheist
me
Jew.
question
finish what I
about the
had to say.
Bolshevik percentage that
So
were
his
Jewish?
father, Henrik Marx, was originally Jewish, but catch this, converted to Lutheranism in order to continue practicing law in Prussia, where Jews faced legal restrictions. Marx was baptized, yes, this is the case, when he was the age of 6, but as an adult, he became atheist and was highly critical of religion, including Judaism and Christianity. So he was a Jew, period.
Okay, so was his mom? He was so was I forget.
No, he was
He
Christian.
was
His
he
He
Both
was
ethnically
his
mother,
Christian. He's
his
one of
parents,
you
mother,
And
guys.
both
everyone
his
knows
Henriette.
Karl
parents,
Marx
Listen,
is a
listen,
Jew. Come on,
quiet.
Pepe,
guys.
both his
His
parents were
mother,
Jewish.
Henriette Pressburg, was Jewish. So
They
technically,
converted.
Karl
Both his
Marx
Sorry.
was
parents were
Jewish.
Jewish.
Case
okay.
closed.
He was a Jew
Yes, he
ethnically and
was a Jew.
halalically, but he was but as far as his life, that
Halachically, he
wasn't.
was Jewish.
Yes, that's what
Pepe,
I
He
said.
again,
was an
But he was not
again, you
a
atheist
could
in
tell,
life.
he
He
Pepe,
was
wasn't a
an
practicing.
Okay, I
atheist.
have
this
a
is a
list.
crypto Jew
He
situation
was
in
an
a sense
atheist
that
in
How do you
you
life.
know he was a
know
crypto
they.
Jew? You
No,
would
I
have to
just
prove
said
that
it.
he was practicing
It was well
behind the
known
You
that
don't have
scenes.
during
to
the
fucking
time,
prove
Pepe, I
anything.
read it. It was
Being a
well
fucking
known
Jew
during that
determined
We're
time.
by a
wasting
Jew
time.
During that
Everyone
time,
knows
We're
he's a
let
doesn't
me
Jew.
not.
matter.
Come
finish.
on.
No, he was
During
We're
Christian.
that
Some
not.
people
We're
were
time,
not
born
many
into
making
Christian
Jews
a
families.
converted.
Percentages in the
Doesn't
During
Bolshevik
matter
that
what
Party.
time,
faith
many
you
Jews
will.
Christian.
They'll tell
converted.
you he was
He was
During
Jewish
on
that
the
too.
time,
cross.
many
If he
Jews
was
He
converted.
was
originally
on
Jew
the
but converted to
cross.
During that
Christianity, that's a
Prince.
time,
Can you
problem.
many
That's
moderate?
Jews
fucking
He
Jewish.
Prince,
converted.
I'm going to
was
answer your
During that
question.
he
time,
Uh,
can't
many Jews
Prince,
deny
You're gonna
it.
have to
converted.
drop King.
Prince,
Prince,
Rest
you asked.
in
I was restoring my streaks on Snapchat. Calm down, damn it. it. Okay, I'm gonna give turns. All right. I'm gonna go Yaakov, then King, then Sheikh.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
According, I got to find the actual source, but according to the 1922 Bolshevik Party census, there were 19,564 Jewish members, comprising approximately 5.21% of the total party membership. In 1917, a little prior to that, um, there was 20%. The Central Committee, which is clearly much more tight. It's the real legislative body of the party. The Central Committee of the Bolshevik Party had approximately 20% of Jewish descent, and descent includes father and mother. True, as we would say, true Jewish would have mother, but for you guys, it doesn't matter. So 20% for the Central Committee, approximately 5% for the entire party. So anyone who says the majority or the vast majority, or there was huge percentage, no, it's much smaller than one would
Yeah, that's
actually
not
believe.
true.
That
That's
is
Okay,
not
not
I,
true.
fine.
true.
I,
But
I
So
what
have
about
the
those
consensus
who
is
I
went
wrong.
have
to
the data to reject this, but you guys
what
can
about those
continue.
who
Okay,
I
went
don't know
into
why y'all
okay,
fudge data like
okay.
this.
It's
Like,
King, then Shay. Go.
yeah. So Shake, I know you're gonna handle the nonsense that he just pointed out. So I won't even touch that. But what I will say is, respectfully, Karl Marx's parents are actually a great example of Jews who took advantage of a situation where they were not accepted. And there's nothing wrong with that. They
And wait a
converted to
minute, but
Lutheranism.
then
They converted
why?
to Lutheranism. They
But his but his
converted to
but his kid was
Lutheranism
baptized.
not because they
They
converted
were
to
baptized.
Lutheranism, not because they agreed. And if you guys need to know what crypto Judaism is,
It's
look
not
it up.
crypto Judaism. Clearly, you
Its
don't know what the
founder,
definition
its
of
Wait,
it.
yeah,
founder.
let him finish, and then
Yeah, I don't
you'll
get why
get in
y'all
after
y'all
Sheikh.
allowing me to be like, come on, what the fuck is going on? So when you look up crypto Judaism, for those who don't understand, their founder, I think his name is Sabbatical Zevi. When you
Sheptai
look at
Sevi.
his, what is it? What does it say one more time?
Sheptai Sevi. But he's
Yes,
just one of many. There are
yes,
many
he's one
others.
of many, but he's the most popular in the sense that he converted in 1666. He was forced to convert to Islam under the Ottoman Empire, but he kept and he had his followers because his followers believed that he was the Messiah. And him and his followers kept their views under Judaism while feigning like they had actually converted to Islam. In the same way, this practice became prevalent around the world and for other communities where Jews would routinely either convert to another religion X, Y, and Z while keeping their original views. It is speculated that this is the same thing because when you look at the pattern of what Russia was doing when it came to Jews of that time period, there were penalties for being Jewish in that sense. And I read it to you guys. So his parents converted to Lutheranism in order for his father to continue practicing law in Prussia, right? So when you look at Karl Marx and his views on religion, clearly the man wasn't being taught to actually like a Christ or actually like anything that had to do with religion. Go read his views. It's all in his work. So respectfully,
As an adult, as a
the Jewish
child, he was
community
raised with the cross. As an adult,
needs to take
yes,
hold
as a
of the
child, he
people
was
who they've
raised in the. He was
created. Respectfully, Karl Marx was a Jew. Communism is Jewish, and Sheikh is gonna
nah,
shake that
sorry,
ass
not the
down
case.
and
King,
explain how the
King.
Bolsheviks
It's
were
amazing
made
how
through
little
Jews.
respect I have for you.
Okay, that's fine. You can have that
I
little
mean, yeah,
respect
if
in
you
the
want to ignore
audience.
Karl Marx, you can go to right back to Moses Hess if you
we're
want.
still
The
wasting
Yeah,
time on
literally
Marx. Just
there's a
influencer
it's
long
of
common
list.
Karl
sense. We
Marx.
all know Marx is a Jew. Why are we wasting time talking about this?
I don't know. I
It's
don't know.
Because
Shake's
this
turn.
tap
Let
dances away from the original point,
It's
and
a
therefore
very
they win.
So,
Let
Moses
Hess
straightforward
is
finish,
fact,
literally called the
guys.
communist
wait.
rabbi.
So, the issue with what what's this guy Yakov said? Yakov gives the total
But
number
then he
across.
ran away.
Oh, he did. Well, just to give clarity, Yakov gives the total number across the entire party. What matters is the leadership. No one cares what the average Tom, Dick, and Harry like has in the Bolshevik Party. What matters is the things like the Central Committee and the commissars. What's funny, the report
Exactly.
I mentioned earlier from the captain in the U.S. Army actually directly says, and in fact, other Russian historians agree that while the lower ranks of the Bolshevik Party were filled with, Goy Russian and Ukrainians, the high ranks of it were disproportionately dominated by Jews. The disparity between 20% and 80% has to do with how these numbers are counted. For instance, someone like Vladimir Lenin is not counted as a Jew because, like our friend earlier said, oh, but he's not halakhically Jewish, right? Now, of course, not being officially halakhically Jewish doesn't mean that one doesn't have a Jewish upbringing or otherwise is influenced by Judaism. Vladimir Lenin absolutely was, as were up to 80% of people in the Bolshevik
A-
Party,
And there's
commissars.
also, just very quick, there's also around 6, 7 that were not Jews, but they were married to Jewish women. So these are
That
not
as
counted
well.
either.
Yes, absolutely. People like Stalin, for instance, his daughters married a Jewish woman. I believe also, what's the guy who came after him that had the nuclear issue in Cuba?
Right, but you see,
Uh,
because yeah,
Khrushchev.
which was very interesting what you just said, because Yakov is a statistician, quote unquote, and he does very well know that there's a big difference between leadership and the totality of the Bolshevik movement.
And he also doesn't
And
think
but
that the
that's
problem with
disingenuous, right? Because then he
20%,
ran away.
he said something like 20%, but yet they're meant to be only
No,
2% of the
exactly.
population, which would mean 10 times the level
You
of
know,
representation,
20% would still be a massive number
even
anyway.
by his own figures,
Yeah.
which are
Exactly. So, but
bullshit.
even with the disingenuous stuff, like then it still turns against them. But
Ex-
like my point is, why do you have to be disingenuous? Like that's kind of
No,
the
of
issue
course, but
here.
we know they're going to be disingenuous.
Yeah,
But to
but
put
why?
this
But
matter,
that's what creates anti-Semitism,
oh
dude.
yeah, because they don't want
Like
to
just
take
drop it.
accountability for things that their society has done. So
Right.
when
Marx
it's
was a Jew.
convenient,
If
they
you deny
become a
it, you're a
race or an
fool.
ethnicity or a religion. To put this matter to bed, I'm gonna read parts of a list, and I emphasize part because if I read the whole list, we'd literally be here for 5 minutes. This is just a list of Jewish Bolsheviks, right? Beyond the obvious big three of Get Yagoda, Kaganovich, and Trotsky. You have Yakov Solovich Agranov, Mark Yuhimovich Amiropievsky, Lazar Solomon Arov Tandetin, Osher Yosipovich Agubov, Moshe Grigorovich Atich, Ishe Yakovich Babich, Petro Yosipovich Barbarov, Sergei Arsenyovich Barminsky, Yosip Mikhailovich Blat, Viktor Mikhailovich Blumen, Israilovich Borisov Kagan, Naum Yakovich Boyarsky, Mikhailo Ilyich Brill, Alexander Yosipovich Bronevoy, Solomon Yosipovich Bronevoy, Solomon Solomonovich Brook, Mark Isaiovich Guy, Matai Mikhailovich Gerzon, Zinovy Naumovich Glebovyov, Mark Ilyich
Okay, I
Rovlich.
think we got it. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly. Yeah,
Well, see, it's so funny because I also have a list and you didn't even read like half of them. It's amazing.
I didn't even read a quarter of my list, dude.
Yeah,
my list was like we only got 1/10 of the way through.
it is amazing. It is truly it's a world wonder.
Well, are these
You're
all the
not
Jews in the
meant to
Bolshevik
notice.
Revolution?
Oh yeah, no, these are Jews in the
Yeah,
Bolshevik
those are
Party. Yeah.
Jews in the
No, it's
leadership.
not the Bolshevik Revolution. It's the
But
Bolshevik
we should
leadership.
Yeah,
after
that's the
Yeah, the
leadership.
Politburo was
after
like a
Shake spoke.
quarter. A
Yo
quarter of the
yo,
Politburo
can
was
you guys hear me?
Jewish.
You guys hear me? I
Yeah, what's up?
Jack,
Yeah, we
we
you're a
can
gotta
hear
little
you.
we
low.
gotta
You're a
let
little
them
low, man.
respond. Like
You're a little
with
bit muffled.
we gotta let them
20% of the
respond. Make
total.
sure we get them. In the debate.
Look, even if it was just 20%, they're still way too overrepresented. And it's not 20% because it's not the Bolshevik movement, it's the Bolshevik leadership. Come on, guys, let's up the game
I
here.
said the
That's
Bolshevik,
correct.
the Central Committee was 20%.
Yeah, yeah, but what percentage were Jews in the Soviet Union? 1.5%.
What about
Less.
those married to Jews? Because you
So
told me.
you're about 20 times overrepresented.
Hold on.
And they
That's
they
right.
murdered, they
Oh,
assassinated the. We all know. We all learned it.
Oh yeah, no, they assassinated the Tsar of Russia in the late 1800s.
Oh,
His
what
This is
about
actually
what
insane. I
about
never knew
Clement
this.
Voroshilov, who
Wait,
married
you didn't
a
know
Jew?
it was them that did the assassination?
Yeah, they also
They were
assassinated
the ones.
the Nazi diplomat in
No, I
France, which
didn't
kicked
know
off
they
World
were
War
that
II.
I didn't know they were overwhelmingly represented in the
You didn't
revolution and
know
the
that
Well,
in
leadership.
of
the Bolsheviks?
No,
course.
I
So
didn't.
let me
Listen,
Hyper
actually
when
overrepresented.
these guys came into Romania, they
And I
started
studied, and
torturing.
I fucking studied the
who said they were
Bolshevik Revolution
overrepresented?
and wrote
Yeah,
my
here's
dissertation
what
on
you
it.
don't learn when you study in universities, right?
Yeah, taught by
When
a
they went
Jewish.
into Romania, the way that they tortured the Romanian legionaries was they made them take the Eucharist using shit and piss. They made them take it
Wait, what?
off.
What did they do?
So the Eucharist, which is the
Eucharist.
bread and body of Christ, which is typically used, they use bread and wine. They made them
Okay,
do it
yeah.
using shit and piss. They made
Hmm.
them take the Eucharist off of the balls of a guy that was dressed as a priest.
Hey, we gotta let them respond. Yakov,
Who
do
Who's
you
would
want to
do this
respond?
wait?
other than
Who
Jews?
said highly overrepresented? Someone said
Of course, it's
I
highly
did. I did.
overrepresented, even if it's
okay.
I did.
At the
10%.
time of 1917, the Jewish population in Russia was about 185 million. 3 to 4% of them were Jewish. So let's call it 3.5%, and they were 5.21% of like 1.5. So
high
they're
Yeah, but
ranking
still,
leadership
but
yeah, it's not
Jews.
Yakov, that
20x.
wait,
They
High
wait,
were about
ranking
20 to
guys,
leadership
guys.
of the
25%.
Wait 1 second. High
Guys,
ranking
hold on.
leadership. We're not focusing on the Tom, Dicks, and Harrys that are like office boys and whatnot. We're talking about high ranking big guns like the commissars.
Yeah, the numbers are still insane, Yakov, no matter how you spin it.
And I,
The
I and I
number
again
is
said there's many
doesn't
that
make
marry
sense.
Jewish women, and you're not counting. And there's also the Michelins.
Not true.
So the Bolshevik Revolution was a Jewish revolution.
No, but
Hundred percent.
here's what's funny, Prince.
I mean, who
Prince
else
No, it
would
made
rebel
wasn't.
against the
No, it
Tsar?
wasn't.
no. I
No.
mean,
Who
but
else
here's
would rebel against the
I
Christian
mean, look,
Tsar?
I hear nonsense
wait,
like
shut
this.
up, Ian. We're talking about something important. Prince,
Why
here's
did
what's
they
Wait,
hate
funny,
the
right?
Tsar?
Is
Why did
somebody
they
They
hate
allowed
the
to
Tsar?
speak, or is
Because
this
the
still
Tsar
going
stood
to
for
be?
Christianity.
yes,
The
shut
Show?
up.
Tsar is a
Oh, come
saint.
on. Yeah.
What's the story? I mean, you're not going to let anybody speak? You're going to
Dude,
give
you
them
guys,
rules of
No,
Man,
no.
you're
you've been saying
interrupting
so
No,
while
no.
I'm
little and
Listen,
Let
you
speaking
can
so
talking.
much.
Not a
speak
Well,
as
rule.
long as you're
That's
not
a
no.
bullshitting.
Hold
violation.
on.
As
Hold
long as
on.
you
Hold on.
present
Look, if you
Hold
want
facts,
to,
on.
you
that's fine.
see.
Sheikh,
Go suck sheep's
Sheikh,
dick. I'm
Sheikh,
sure his
Sheikh.
big
Hold
black
on.
Yeah,
dick
Let him
wants to get
speak.
sucked right now. And
Let
just go
Ian get
for it.
his
I
say
mean,
because
it's ridiculous. You
no.
do it
Hold on. Hold on.
do this
Hold on. I'm
crap all
gonna
the
give you the
time.
mic,
So
Ian. I'm gonna
fine,
give you the mic.
fine. No,
I'm
no,
gonna give
no,
you the
no,
mic.
no,
We're
Man,
gonna.
no.
just move
I'm
him to
done.
the
I'm done.
audience.
I'm done. I'm
No,
done.
no, no, no.
I
Let
mean,
we're gonna
I'm
let.
listening to where you're going. You're not interested in the truth.
Okay, we're gonna let Ian speak. He's the
You're making
dissenting
shit
voice,
up now.
and he's Jewish. He's gonna don't interrupt him. Let him
No, no.
have his
Goodbye.
say.
Okay, we'll see you
Okay,
later.
bye.
See you
I
later.
gave you the
A
mic.
He
Maybe
mic.
says,
Get the
dude,
fuck
he
out of
says
Tony
here.
so
or
little by
Well,
Tom.
speaking so much.
guys, you
It's
gotta let
amazing.
them speak.
But he
Well,
spoke
Yeah,
more
I
than
give
mean,
anyone.
him
What?
one
What are you
well,
guys
he's
gonna
not
do?
second.
actually
Listen to their
saying
lies?
anything.
Yeah,
Ian never
listen
actually
up.
presents
There's
facts.
no one will be entertained or interested in this topic if it's just us agreeing with each other. Like let's let them get their get
El
back
But who
and
says we're
Normo.
no, no?
one
Who
on
says
ones
we're
and shit.
agreeing? Prince didn't even know about the leadership in the Bolsheviks, right? There's much to learn. You don't have to entertain those that you're opposing.
The issue isn't opposition. The issue simply is like he is not coming with anything fruitful. There's no point being made. It's just statements. There's no argument.
And we'll all
No, they
recognize
are
that.
here
And
literally to
Yeah.
make us sink in
I
the
think you
cum
give them the
like fucking
opportunity to respond
quicksand,
no matter
and
what.
therefore we actually make no meaningful progress on any conversation
So
because they just
Well,
tap
No,
dance
no,
on
no. I
holes in
no,
one
disagree. I
Mister
point,
disagree.
Mister
and
has
they
a point.
endlessly try to go deeper on it, and
I
then they criticize
disagree.
the source, and
If
who
we're
is his
sitting here agreeing
credibility,
with each
and oh my god,
other
it's not the
or
New York Times, so go fuck
educating,
yourself,
yeah, you can
right?
No,
talk
So
yeah,
whatever
no.
unless
without
Listen,
a
Mister
problem.
Anderson has a point. So, like Prince, did you know that Karl Marx, despite the fact that this guy was a hardcore communist, basically wrote the Communist Manifesto, right? Hated money for some reason because communism, right? Was actually funded by the Rothschilds and refused to call out the Rothschilds, despite the fact that he hated money and the Rothschilds basically were the biggest bankers at the
Guess who the
time.
Rothschilds are? Guess who they are. Go ahead.
Communism doesn't mean you hate money.
Well, the communists definitely hated money,
Yes, they
and
did hate money.
specifically, yes, Karl Marx did hate money, but he
You
refused to
can
call
see
out
it
the
in Das Kapital.
Rothschilds.
no, 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 no,
where
Rabbi.
is there
They're
a link between the
globalists,
Communism
though.
uh,
No,
Rothschilds
no,
and
they're
it's
Marx?
wealth
globalists.
This is
They're not
like
Jews.
distribution,
flat
Karl
Tony.
earthism.
Marx actually
Against
funded
wealth.
was funded by the Rothschilds, and
Why would
Karl
the
Okay, how?
Marx
communists be
Show me
against
here's
the
this.
and
wealthy
here and
Show me
here's and
this.
here is the
Show me this.
the spin,
Oh,
right?
normal. This conversation's
Karl
over your head.
Marx was
Show me this that
actually
he
a
was funded by
Levy.
Rothschild.
His real heritage is that he was a Levy.
Show me that they ever met,
Allegedly a
Rothschild
Levy
and Karl
because he can't
Marx.
prove
Show
that,
me.
but that's right.
I mean, he's a descendant of series of
Show me that they
rabbis,
ever. Karl Marx
Talmudic
was an
rabbis. So
atheist. He was not a Jew. Show me that he ever
He
met
whoa,
Rothschild.
whoa! Are
Whoa,
you
I thought you
denying
can be a Jew and
El
an atheist.
Normo? You're the first one to say that atheists can be Jews.
I'm not the first one to say anything. You're making up stuff and putting
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
my
you
mouth.
often
Okay, so
say
let it
this.
so
be
wait, an
known. El
atheist
Normo
can't be a
just said
Jew?
you can't be a non-Jewish
I
Jew. He
didn't
just said
say
it.
that. I never said that. You're
Wait, so
misquoting
you
me
can
again.
wait, if you're an atheist, you're not a Jew, El Normo?
Never said
Because
that.
most of you are
Okay, so
atheists
Karl
anyway.
You're
Marx, being
having
of Jewish
trouble
descent,
rapping.
being a
You're
fucking
you're
Levy,
having
despite the
trouble
fact that he was an
rapping. Your little
atheist,
goy
is still a
minds around a
Jew.
simple sentence. Your little goy minds can't cope with my simple
Yes, I am
sentence.
a goy. My soul
Correct.
is inferior to your
Not
soul.
inferior.
I am
No,
not
you're
a
just ignorant.
Jew.
You're just
I'm
stupid.
just a
That's
Joe.
all.
I'm just a common
But El
goy. I
Normo is
can
a
cannot
waste of
comprehend
time. Can you
facts.
guys
I'm
just move on?
stupid.
It's just total waste of
You
time.
sound pretty stupid. You got to admit.
Okay, there
I
you go.
do admit I am stupid. So was fucking Karl Marx
So
and all the
show
people
me the
that fell
link
for his
between Rothschild
bullshit.
and Marx, and I'll say you're smart. Go ahead.
Yes,
Normal,
Karl Marx was
we're
a
all
fucking Levy.
retarded,
He was
okay?
funded
We're
by
all dumb. But
Rothschilds.
can you please
Show me
just
the
say how
link
it's wrong?
between Rothschild and Marx, and I'll take it back. Otherwise, you're an idiot.
All right, let's do it.
Show me he wasn't.
Show it. You made a claim. Now let's see the
Listen, this
evidence.
is the fucking Jew that tries to pretend that there's not a fishing line around New York. Amazing. Pay me my fucking money.
Fishing line. That's a new one.
Yeah. Do you want the website link?
So
That's
show
right.
me the link between Rothschild and Marx. Did Rothschild funded Marx? And I'll take back my claim that you're a fucking idiot.
This is
No one
testified by
cares about the
this is
opinions of
testified by
Jews.
Marx's.
Anybody? Bueller?
This is
Anybody?
testified by Marx's editor Moshe Hess, who also just so conveniently happens to be Jewish. It
I'm
gets even
waiting to
worse.
see the proof.
If you, it gets even worse when you look into the assassination of Tsar Alexander and the
Should we
organization
assume that you
of
have
No,
no link
listen, this
between
is just Jewish
Rothschild and
tap dance
Marx?
again. The burden is on you to prove that he was not funded.
No,
If
you
that's
can't
your
prove a
fucking
negative.
claim,
No, you
if
know
you're in
what?
here to fucking
I'm gonna
counter it,
give
You
you,
can't
then
prove
you
a
dude,
bring the
negative. Show us
fucking
the
dude.
proof.
evidence.
Here
You're
is
just
a
here to fucking
source.
disrupt and otherwise
Show
fucking
us the
No, no,
useless
no.
evidence.
fucking
Here is a
conversation.
source from the New York Times.
You go
The
Show
fucking
us
show
New
the
us who
York
evidence.
funded him
Times
then.
even wrote about this. Rothschild linked to Marx by Nazis. German historian turns
By
the
Oh, it's
two
from the
Nazis. Oh,
New
you're
York
right.
brothers
Oh,
Times.
so your source is the
in blood
Amazing.
Nazis.
and spirit.
Does that not satisfy you, the
So
New
your
York
source is
Times?
the Nazis?
No, my
Your
source is
source.
the
No, it's
New
the New
York
York Times, bro.
Times.
Yeah, again, dude, this is just like Mr. Anderson said. Whenever you're told something, you're gonna reject it, ask for sources, whatever. It doesn't
All
matter
I
if you're
asked
giving
you was a
sources. You're
link
still gonna
between
reject the sources and
Rothschild.
stab their. Dude, we know the
It
drill, man.
says
They're
We know
literally
the
here just
drill,
to
man.
waste your
Rothschild
Boring,
linked
fucking
to
time
Marx
and
by
tire you out.
Nazis.
boring. We
They're
could be
here to
Okay,
discussing.
tire you
We could
out,
be.
bitch.
It's not about them. It's
hang
about the
on. You
people
said I was going
listening.
to talk. You proved my point. All you have is Nazi bullshit. Anything else besides
Okay,
The
Nazi
New York
okay,
bullshit?
Times is
but
Nazi
that's not an
bullshit.
argument, man.
It
Wait,
is
you
not an
said that the
argument.
Nazis claim this, right?
Are the
No, he
Nazis wrong
didn't.
about
He,
everything?
So I said, show me the link between Rothschild and Marx. You have nothing except
So,
a
assuming it is the
Nazi. A
Nazis, okay?
Nazi paranoid. Yeah, you guys are Nazis, like I
So
said.
assume, okay, we are
You a
Nazis.
proud
The
So
Nazi.
are the
Holocaust
Nazis
numbers
wrong
are
about
sourced
everything,
from
though?
the
Is that your
Nazis
claim?
too.
Stay with us now. What is the link between Rothschild and Marx? Show us.
Okay, so you're saying if the Nazi said it, therefore it must be incorrect. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that the Nazis' claims are suspect, and I would not take them as a source unless I'm a
But you
Nazi
don't have to
myself.
take it, motherfucker.
But
You
should we
don't have to
trust the
take
New York
nothing. You
Times, though?
personally don't have to take
So
anything.
yeah, well, the New York Times is saying that attributing it to a discredited source, the
Norm,
Nazis. The Nazis were obviously
Yeah,
insane.
that's amazing. So if a
if
Nazi
It
said
is
it, it's false.
if
amazing.
Okay.
It's also true.
So
the
everything the Nazi
Nazis
said were false, right?
if they're
I
not
never said that.
reliable, why do you
But
stop
then
their
why are you
Nazis were
assuming
I
it's
said
incentivized
false?
to
I
kill
dispute
Jews.
them as a
If
source.
you
If you
Yeah,
wanted to
you
make a
dispute it because
statement
it
of
hurts your
truth,
fucking feelings.
you'd need an
That's not a fact,
unbiased
though.
source.
Okay,
You
so
would
you're
need
saying
an
it's not
Feelings aren't
everything the
facts,
Nazis
bro.
say is false. However, this is false because the Nazi said it.
I would say if you use them as a source, you're an idiot, which proves my
Oh,
Okay,
it's
point.
not
exactly, because your
credible.
claim is that
Appeal to
everything Nazis say is false.
authority.
I never
That's a
made
very
Fucking
good
that
tap
point.
claim.
dancing
I
cow.
But
said if
okay,
you
but if
want to
that's not
prove
the
Using the
case,
something,
source of a
oh my
hang
god,
person
on,
so
who
dumb.
wants
hang on.
to
If you want to
kill
prove
all Jews.
something, you need what
That's
we
right.
call an unbiased source.
That's right. Oh, so the New
Not
York Times is
not the
So you
unbiased.
claims
are
by
not
a
biased.
genocidal maniac. The
So
New
you're
York
not
Times
biased.
doesn't make
So
the
you have
claim.
to use a Jewish source,
So how are
basically.
you
A
A
less
Jew,
Jewish
biased
not a
than a
Jewish
approved
Nazi?
source, make
source.
it
And if you
unbiased.
use any a source that's not Jewish, you're anti-Semitic. Amazing.
Not at
Correct.
all. No, you're picking Nazis. Nazis were genocidal
We,
maniacs.
So at this
I
You're
don't
point, I'd
think
rather
claiming
pick a
a
Nazi than you, El
genocidal
Normo.
that's
maniac
right.
as your source.
That's right.
So of course they're going to say a genocidal maniac thing. Show
Frankly,
us
we
the link.
should
Okay,
actually choose the sources that upset them the
say
most
that
because they're
again.
more
No,
likely
pick
to
an
be true.
objective source.
No, we're going to use the sources that upset you the most,
Pick an
actually.
objective
No,
source. Pick
no,
anything you
that's
want.
the new standard. The sources that
Okay,
upset
so
the
so
Jews the
you've
A
proved
most.
my
biased
point. You
That's
a
how
sources.
you know
proud
There
you're
we
over
go.
the
Nazi.
target. That's amazing.
El Normo,
You have all the credibility
it
of
does
Adolf
essentially
Hitler.
boil down to the fact that you're saying if a Nazi said it, then we cannot trust it. That's what you're
Never
saying, which
said
is
that.
fine. I mean, you can have that
Never said that. I
perspective.
said if you
I
want to
disagree
make
with
a
you.
claim, use an unbiased source. Very
Okay,
simple.
I'm not necessarily sure that we
We're
have the
going to
same
use the
definition of
sources that
unbiased.
upset you the most.
You're delusional if you think I'm upset. I'm cracking up at what
But it's
morons
not
you
about
are.
You're
you being
cracking
upset.
up. You
Let's
won't shut the
put
fuck up.
emotions on the side for a
I'm
little bit, man.
laughing. I'm laughing with
Okay,
glee at
well, I
what
don't care if
idiots
you're
you
laughing or
are.
crying. I don't care about your emotions. Let's stick to the
I don't
facts.
care about your emotions. Pick a
Well,
real
fine. I'm not
source.
expecting you to. I'm not getting
Right.
emotional. I'm
So do
simply
you
telling you
think
that
Mein
your
Kampf is
claim
a credible
is
is
illogical,
Mein
man.
Kampf a credible book to you, sir?
Huh?
What
Is
does
Mein
credible get to
Kampf
do with
a
Okay,
anything?
okay.
credible
You know, but
book?
you know, I'm no, wait,
Yes,
wait,
Mein Kampf
once,
is a very
wait, wait,
We're
credible
one,
gonna
book
one,
My
quote
one
it
according to
just
Okay, so
because
this
we
second.
understanding.
annoys
tells me
you.
who you are.
Wait,
no,
wait,
A
wait,
hold
one
on.
Nazi
second. One
genocidal
I mean,
second.
I
maniac.
think Mein Kampf is very
Oh my
credible to
god.
You
Normal,
have
understanding
no.
normal.
Hitler.
Wait. Normal. I actually find it amusing. You as a Jew are now doubting the credibility of Mein Kampf
It's
because this is,
amazing.
yeah, because this is a lot of where
Doubting
your
it.
evidence, dude.
Doubting it?
Yes, because this is where a lot of where
It's
It's
the
your,
work.
dude. This
it's
is
a
where
historical
a
document.
lot of the
It's
evidence
the
that you
work of a
guys bring
disturbed
in.
mind,
Dude,
like you.
This
he just
motherfucker.
can't, man.
Why did this motherfucker never shut up? Anyway,
Exactly.
a lot of the evidence that they use to say that, yeah, this is what Hitler did to us, this is the Holocaust, blah 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 blah, comes from Mein Kampf, comes from Hitler, it comes from Nazis. So when you guys find Nazis, a credible source, you believe them.
Dude, he is
But
literally
No,
telling you that if
that's
an
what he
he says it,
believed.
then it is not true.
That's why he did it all, because he believed in it. It doesn't mean that it's true. It means that he believed in it.
so
Okay,
he's a
so that's
So
credible
are we
source.
credible.
trusting?
That's a credible source to understand what Hitler believed.
The Nazis' numbers and
That
their record
that's a
keeping for the
credible source
Holocaust?
to understand what was
That's where
happening
you
in his
guys get
mind and
this six
how he was
million fucking
speaking to
number from.
himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
So are they either credible or not? I don't know.
No, no, no. It is credible in some areas, not in others. That's totally fine. But El Normo essentially is saying if a Nazi says it, therefore it's not true. Then he's saying, no, that's not what I'm saying. But because a Nazi said it, it's not true. So yeah, you are
That's not
saying if
what
a
he
Nazi said
said.
it.
You're not listening. Seems like you're not a rabbi after all.
I am a rabbi. Oh, that's why I speak
Yeah,
about
of course
tradition.
you're a rabbi.
Of course, I'm a
I'm a
rabbi.
Christmas rabbit.
I am the most distinguished rabbi on this app.
Yeah, you're the most distinguished rabbi on this app, right?
I d- don't take it from me. Take
Yeah,
it from Sheikh. Ask
yeah,
Sheikh.
you are the most distinguished rabbi.
I
He is.
am.
He is. That is true.
I'm not even the one who gave myself the title.
All right, so I'll find someone to give me
Amazing.
another
So they're
silly
arguing about
silly
credibility.
title. That means
He's
that
the
I am.
authority. Argue with the fucking facts.
Exactly. Let's argue with the facts. It doesn't matter. Okay, fine. I'm not a rabbi. Fine. That I'm
Well,
retarded.
yeah.
Okay, and I'm also a
There's,
Nazi. It doesn't matter. So what
there's a
about?
fact that a couple of people gave
What the
you a
fuck has
title.
that
Now
got to
you
do with
are
the
hanging
facts,
around with
bro?
it and saying
That's
that's your name.
No,
amazing.
some people are ordained by men. I'm ordained
Argue
by
the
God
fucking point,
Himself.
not the man.
Shit. Yeah, exactly. Argue the point. No, I love you like my child, Tony, and I have nothing against you. But like, let's stick to the facts and what's being said rather than the messenger of that message. One thing I noticed with the
Right.
Yahudim is that they don't
Stick to
care what the
facts.
message is. They simply care who says
Biased
it.
source.
Okay, the source, if it's a Nazi source, let's say, although New
What is it? What is
York
the
Times,
meaning of biased source?
but hold on,
Don't read the
before
this
we get to the
Hey,
biases,
definition.
you're
before we get to the
kind
Explain
for
what is a
biases,
talking. You're
because the
biased
supposed to
Jews
shut the
source.
aren't
fuck
really
up.
known for their non-bias, dude. So before we get to the biases, the New York Times is not a Nazi source. Now, if a Nazi source says something, that doesn't definitively mean that it's wrong. Do we have that understanding? Do we agree? Are we on the same page? Or is it that everything
Well,
the
that's
Nazi
exactly what he
source?
was saying.
Okay,
But
no,
what
that's not
you're
what he was
saying
saying
that
because
this guy wrote a book. There's a historian that is a Nazi historian. That therefore he says the truth. That's what you're saying.
no, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just I'm not the one saying it's true or false. El Normo is saying it's false because the New York Times is quoting from a Nazi source. Therefore, he believes if it's a Nazi source, it must be wrong. Let's get real and stop playing games. I keep telling you, if you want to play with something,